rough, and this life just seems so tough. Make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good afternoon and good night, everyone. Good night to the two lovely ladies on the panel and my good friend. Can you all mute your mic for me, please? I'm getting a feedback here, yeah. My good friend, Sir Garfield Reed, and the two lovely young ladies. Can you two introduce yourself to us, please? Unmute your mics and introduce yourself, please.
Good night, everyone. My name is Tanya Cowan. It's a pleasure sitting in with you tonight. Just want to thank everyone for giving us their listening ears, and we look forward to hearing of your questions and also your input. Thank you.
We have a lovely young lady.
Hi, good night. Okay, so are you hearing an echo?
Hold on. Are you too close to each other?
Yes, we're in the same.
No. You gotta go in a different room.
Okay, let me try another.
You want me to leave the room?
Just mute your mics and turn. And go into a different room, please.
Okay.
But in the meantime, until the two young ladies sort themselves out, we're gonna dig deep in what is going on in the land of wood and water. We also have Garfield. I want you to unmute your mic for me, Garfield, and introduce yourself to the Jamaican people and to the people here.
Well, again, Trudy, good night. It's a pleasure meeting you. Jeffrey Tavares, you are the man. So make we talk. And Anita, I'm Garfield Reed. I'm a Jamaican that live in South Florida. Been out of Jamaica, living in South Florida for the last 35 years. So I came to this country as a 17-year-old kid, straight out of Jamaica. Very much politically informed, home and abroad, in the life insurance business, and we do dabble in some radio broadcasting from time to time on different platforms, and very talkative, very concerned about my country, highly political, but very much balanced. Could you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. Before I have the two young ladies coming, thank you, Garfield. Let us segue into something here. Today I hear the Prime Minister said that there will be no gangs getting any money from the development of a new hospital in Spanish Town. I'm going to play an audio clip, and I know I had told the two beautiful young ladies here that we're going to segue into something and have them read something, and I commented it. My producer just called me Owen Brown, said to me that change a different way. Start with the Prime Minister's thing first, then we can go into other things, okay? So let us talk about what the Prime Minister said in Spanish Town at the groundbreaking. And I want you all to listen to what the PM said. I find it very shocking that he'll come out and say something like this. So that is very good for him to say it anyhow. And he said that that gunmen or gangs won't have any say or any extortion money given to them in the building of the new hospital. This is what he said.
Well, let me tell all the gang members who are licking their lips, looking on at big fat contracts to come, none of that will happen here.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness talking tough in Spanish Town on Tuesday. A major infrastructure project is to be undertaken on the grounds of the Spanish Town Hospital, and Mr. Holness is adamant extortionists and other criminals will not have their way. The warning came against the knowledge that two of the country's most deadly gangs operate out of Spanish Town.
We have already started to work with the JDF and the JCF. This will be a military camp if it has to be. There will be no extortion here. No illegal activity here. No controlling of site here. None of this government funding spending here will go to fund criminals. That link must be cut. Taxpayers' money can't come here. And people have name and list who don't come to work, collect pay, and then use it to buy God. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. This mustn't help build gangs. So those who have that in their minds, stay far from here.
Several of the very soldiers that he says could be deployed on the construction site to ensure law and order during the construction were strategically positioned on the property Tuesday, including on building tops. He says the anti-gang legislation is also being perfected to deal with gangs, including those in Spanish Town.
If it means that I have to put JDF and JCF around here and any man coming in or coming out has to be checked, and the roster has to be kept outside by the JDF and the JCF about attendance for work, then it will be done.
The new hospital in the old capital will be constructed with a $50 million loan secured from the International Development Bank (IDB), plus another $11 million in grants from the European Union. The government will provide the remaining sums.
When we talk about fiscal responsibility, the average person takes it for granted. But this government has managed your fiscal affairs, your revenues, the taxes that you pay, whether it is GCT, property tax, whatever tax. We have managed it in such a way that today, from our budget, we can say we will allocate $87 million from our budget.
Construction is to begin immediately, and Mr. Holness says the work on this project will draw from the experiences in St. James, where the Cornwall Regional Hospital has been plagued by missed timelines and adjusted budgets.
Jamaica has not built a hospital in the last 30 years or more. We don't have those skills resident here. And what is required to build a hospital, it is a learning curve that Jamaica is on. So I do take note of the comments made earlier regarding Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
I want to say welcome to my good friend Luke George Cook, who is here with us also. Before we get to Luke, ladies, your views on what the Prime Minister just said about he will make sure if you have to put the JDF or the JCF there or both, that gangs will never get an extortion money from the building of a new hospital in Spanish Town. Your views on that, ladies?
You want me? Okay, I'll go first. So I'm listening to the Prime Minister making that speech, but my question is that speech goes for gang members or it goes for contractors? Because gang members cannot come and take over the site and do whatever they want, you understand, if they're not working for contractors, if they don't have some affiliation with contractors. You understand? So he's saying that, I mean, I understand. I get the message clearly. You understand? But if you have, if the work is, you know, contract out to contractors, then they're the ones who's going to get people to work. So why don't he tell them instead of saying it to the gang members? how they gonna get work there?
Well, Miss Tanya, yes, and I think you have a solid point because, as you are saying, that the contractors are the ones who will be contracted by the chief contractor. Let us, remember how these things work. Everybody, most people they are subcontractors, and
Right.
they will be getting subletted from the main contractor. Who is the main contractor on the site? But what the prime minister, I would love to ask the prime minister, and Jeffrey didn't really play out the tape, is that,
I played all the tape out.
well, there is another one when he mentioned that his Spanish Town him come from, and he know what's going on in Spanish Town long time.
Well, I got this tape, and I just played this tape. But if
Right.
he said that, then
Yeah, but my concern, as the young lady states, Tanya, is that who the prime minister is speaking to. Is he speaking to the contractors, or is he speaking to the extortionists? And who are the extortionists? I mean, these are people who now he knows. And to be frank, both political parties have criminal contractors and who are extortionists. I mean, if you go down by, I don't know if you know downtown Kingston pretty well. Water Lane, Water Lane? Right there in Rasta City?
You're talking to me?
Yes, Water Lane?
No, I don't know Water Lane.
Okay,
I know Waterloo.
Okay, right. Water Lane, right downtown, that bus park. Downtown Water Lane, after you pass Nutrition Bun, come round. Rasta
Yes,
City and the left.
I know Water Lane.
Okay, perfect. That is an underused bus park. And the contractor on that job was...
And who did build that bus park?
Well, a contractor and a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. And mark you, both political parties...
You mean the former Prime Minister Bruce Golding?
Well, the former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, but who was the contractor on the job? That was the group, the company name Ogilvy. To that extent, but look out in Operation Pride in St. Thomas, and all of that. So these are contractors, and these people are known to be involved in criminal activities. But on the other side, what I am hearing from the Prime Minister is that he wants to make sure that nobody come there and extort the job site. But at the end of the day, the Prime Minister said that he's from Spanish Town, and he knows what go on in Spanish Town long time. I can play it for you. So I'm saying to you, why is it that we were not eradicating extortionists in Spanish Town way before the hospital come on stream? Don't get me wrong. The Prime Minister talked tough. He needs to put the JCF and the JDF there. The camps need to be there, but the JDF and the JCF needs to be on the grounds right around Jamaica, length and breadth, and to eradicate old people who are extortion, business owners, taxi drivers, the lady who's selling at the market.
So are you saying that the JDF they must go to the parliament too, Jeffrey? Shut them out. Miss Trudy, your comment on it, please, ma'am. Unmute your mic for me.
Oh yes, thanks for the reminder. You see, this is the situation, and Garfield touched on a very salient point about our culture, and our culture is one of corruption, from extortion all the way down, and it's kind of it's cool that the Prime Minister, and I'm happy that he came out and put up a strong front in terms of trying to lay it down as it relates to this hospital. But as Garfield said earlier, efforts should really be made to cut out corruption, not only because of this hospital, but in our everyday lives. And not only because it's a government project per se, but even for the the little person trying to make a living. And
Yes.
if you look at even, it was just today, my sister and I were having a conversation about road work in Jamaica and seeing how much it takes international persons to come in. Remember when the road was being made, was being done coming from Montego Bay in Westmoreland, coming from Montego Bay. And that road was built, I think, by the Chinese. That road, most of our major constructions seem to be done by international people in our island because of the corruption factor within our own country from our own.
Yes.
And so to go back to the point of the Prime Minister, happy that he spoke tough, but I'm sitting on the edge of my seat looking at the action that will actually be taken to curb this corruption. And can it really be curbed? Has it gone too far? Because in essence, and we have all heard the horror stories, and I've witnessed it, just trying to go back home and just trying to do a little business back home to survive. And as a female, just trying to do my business, trying to make a positive contribution to my country. I'm feeling where my little business, me stick up within the first week, me have to pay a man from over there so for my business to be running on.
My
And then
God.
there's a fear factor. There's a fear factor. If you don't pay up, you're either going, be threatened or you're going to lose whatever you have. And so
Are you going down a Madden?
all right. And even Garfield said we didn't see that part of the tape, but I guess hopefully we'll be able to see it. Where the Prime Minister, and he's not the only person who may be privy to the fact that we have these corruptors in our society. But what has been done to date to stamp it out, to kill it?
Yes.
And is it only going to be done because of the hospital? Or because I would feel more confident if there was some strength behind saying that efforts will be made to cut out corruption, starting with the hospital or the hospital being a part of it. Is it that after the hospital is built, things are just going to go back to as being normal?
Yes.
You have people who can, extortionists who will continue to extortion, new word, extortionate the rest of our society.
Yes.
So for me, it's not, for me, I'm not into no silo thinking. I'm not into no one special project thinking. I'm into advancing our country, advancing our communities, and stamping this thing out once and for all. And if it means that we have to even include international help, because
No,
sometimes
There's no international help. All they
but
want
no,
is to spend the money.
but that's the thing. That's the thing now. Because let me tell you, do not think that extortionist is just was the people down panel levels. Extortionist in Jamaican corruption sometimes comes from the highest levels. And the budget bantan said thief don't like to see thief in long bag.
Yes, and I'm
Sometimes
not.
some of the same persons who you're putting in charge
Yes.
to cut or to abate the problem may be a part of the problem.
That's why I
Yes.
said he's
Hold
talking
on for me. Hold on for me. Let us bring in Luke George Cook here. Luke, human rights activist and a good friend of mine. Unmute your mic, Mr. Cook. Welcome to the program, Luke.
Jeff, may I stop comparing program? We can't take a listen to them. My colleague tell me something must not have no long conversation.
Nobody listen to them.
No, Jeff, I tell him I can't stand people like that if you want to come on because I'm a better person. Jeffrey, allow me to speak or else I can leave. I do not want it. Jeffrey, allow me to speak. I don't want nobody when I not borrow them false teeth, tell me what to say. And them invite me. So please, if you don't want to hear, you can go. But as far as me concerned, dog, I sweat long hair I cover it. Don't be fooled by that speech, Jeffrey. Extortion monies are paid out by contractors, not by people taking oversight. So the money might have been negotiated and them already get the payment already. So all you see, a one done control, a me control thing. But that's not how contract goes. The extortion money is paid out already. That was decided. And the people are going to turn up there. If you have 4 gang over there, everybody has got to get, all right, you get 4 workers each and you go over there. But at the end of the week, the money might pay out already. The long and short of it is that we can't become a state controlled by JDF officers and police, because that shows that we are not actually running this country effectively, right? We are not. And it shouldn't have gone so bad. I don't know about Spanish Town, the demographics of Spanish Town. But Kingston, them say them have 8 gangs here. Kingston almost a St. Andrew. 8 for the PMP and 8 for the JLP. What that I would have loved the Prime Minister to say.
And the main gang is in the parliament. Go ahead, behave yourself. Go ahead, go ahead.
Stop behaving yourself. You must step in and make good trouble, Jeffrey. Stop that. Right? The main thing we need for say is that gang association with politics, that we should have seen an end to that. But how is it that you're going to hold the people accountable if the leadership itself is now being criticized left, right, and center from every Jack Mandora as being corrupt? You have ministers who are called the 15% minister. They have to get 15% of every piece of project that their ministry run. So this corruption, the corruption that we are talking about, Jeffrey, the people are, it is us, the people who must now recognize what corruption has taken away from this country. Imagine how much more schools could have been built, how much hospitals could have been built, how much parks for children could have been built, how much support could have gone into training of our people. But sometimes we have to pay 2 times for the project. And I don't think the Prime Minister needs to go out now on a campaign of integrity building and trying to rebrand politicians as people who are not pirates of Jamaica, but people who can be trusted. Because the perception, Prime Minister, if you don't know it, you are going to left as Jamaica's richest Prime Minister. And you never get that money through your hard work and sweat and tears. So don't go tell the little man where only use fire gun and kill people and intimidate community. Oh, all of a sudden, you have become the patron saint, so you're anointing them as little saints. Come on, Prime Minister. I say them have a right to extort nobody. Nobody not go with. But if you cannot clean the head of the stream, you can't expect the bottom to. And Jeffrey May in a community development. Contractors are contacted. Them know the players. Them no want to go them yard and get shut down. Them pay them money already. What we are going to talk about? It done already. So yeah, a PR campaign this. Well, PR, do not be fool.
Luke, I mean, just listen to what the discourse is basically, and when you look at it, and you are spot on. I mean, let us clear. I don't know if the Prime Minister going to be the richest Prime Minister to leave office. I don't know where he get his monies from, but I don't know. But
Garfield, remember me said, Garfield, me not cut you. Until Prime Minister Holness can get out of the mind, especially Garfield of the youth, that what he says he means, and what he means he's doing.
Okay.
And he's leading by example, the widest perception out there. After PJ Patterson, this Prime Minister is going to be the richest Prime Minister that has left office.
Well, the perception.
No, it is sad. It is sad, Garfield, that your 15 to 18-year-old and younger people, because if you look on even the social media, you have some little pitney now where I come out and I say, no baba, thief, go jail, eat big food, come out, no baba. So the argument about the image of corruption being real in as we are watching it in real play form right now, Garfield, is real. So I would love for the Prime Minister to go out on what is called building back the integrity and accountable assets of Jamaica, and making sure that everybody in his administration is held to high account. And you can't talk, Bridget.
Well, yes. Okay, I hear you. Correct. Because he has a responsibility, a fiscal responsibility, and a fiduciary responsibility as PM of the country. And I agree with you 110%. But the argument that you put forward about the extortion money already being paid, I mean, to look at it in hindsight, you are spot on. I would be 100% agree with you. because when a contractor, because what we must also realize, just for example, Luke George is the main contractor on the site.
Are you wicked, Virgin?
Luke George would have never gone to the site. The only time Luke George would have gone to the site is Luke George would have sent a representative to represent him, to represent the company in a project meeting. So basically, as we talk about, there are going to be hundreds of subcontractors on that site, and these subcontractors will be now hiring the masons, the electrician, and the support, the grounds breaking people, the earth moving people, the water people. And guess what? Those are the people who are getting extorted. You understand? And when they go to a Luke George, I'm going to say, no, you have to take care of them people. Because I know of an incident in the same Spanish Town area, a site where this person were given 10 hours to paint. And when he went to collect the money, he was told by his contractor, boss, but for hold back something because the extortion, I forget pay. You understand? So you are right. So the Prime Minister come with a smoke screen argument about extortion. And I believe by putting in the JDF there and the JCF there, they are themselves one of the biggest extorters in Jamaica. So, all right, the police in Jamaica.
You are a brilliant last leg runner, I know. This is true, you never find more and you eat some salad pie. Melivia.
No, I'm telling you, and let us be clear. I believe the corruption in the extortioners in the force is a minute set. It's not the majority, because we still have good police officers will not take a dime from you. I'm not begging you anything, because I have run into a situation in Jamaica where the police officers stop me and tell me he's going to write me a ticket, and there's nothing I can say right now to get out of this ticket here. And he wrote me the ticket, and when I get back home, I make sure go online and pay that ticket because it was a computerized ticket. And he said to me, Mr. Reed, one thing I can advise you, sir, make sure you pay that ticket, because I'm sorry for you. If you're coming to Jamaica on a Friday, you're not going to see the judge until Monday morning if a warrant is out. So bottom line figure, I'm saying the Prime Minister said a Rasta will be at the gate. So he will be taking a roll call of who enter and who exit the property, the work site. Let's hope all that can be good. Let's hope that's not a smoke screen. Let's hope that can transcend across the length and breadth of Jamaica when it comes on to extortionists. And I must tell you, the people of Jamaica must be safe. They have to have some form of safety within their organization, within their business. We just can't live in under a cloud of rampant criminality. And we ourselves have to do better. I believe that we can do much more to help to fight the corruption in Jamaica. Because sometimes, Luke, ladies, Jeffrey, sometimes we ourselves are the contributor to the corrupt practices in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe that. Because quite simple, I have gone to, if you go right now as we speak, if you go to the TRN office right now in Portmore, the line is long, the sun is hot, and the first thing you tell a man, say, boss, boy, if them things are that foreign and get you early, you know, right away, you are
not
go so, but right now you're willing to pay a $20 or $40 to get ahead of the line. And we must take that.
$20 what?
We people ourselves.
$20 who?
Jeffrey, we're talking about US currency now, not Jamaican.
Oh!
Right. We ourselves, Jeffrey, contribute. The police stop us sometimes.
And I can't buy chicken back.
The police stop us sometime in Jamaica, you know, and we are the one who bring the corrupt behavior to the police, you know. Not
That's
the
not
police bring it to us.
So that's why the police are left or right. Ladies,
Yes.
You come on back in here, Trudy, and that lovely lady here. Come on back in and tell us. I mean, as a woman living in Jamaica, a part of Jamaican society, how do you see Jamaica right now? The Prime Minister is saying he's talking tough on extortionists and so forth. Do you believe a Prime Minister who promised the Jamaican people, I'll make us sleep with the door and windows open? A man trying to dead like a dog. Unmute your mic again for me.
For me, I normally maintain that all of us are part of the fabric. All of us are either part of the solution or part of the problem. And whereas we may not see perfection in any prime minister, any leader at all, whether it be JLP or PMP, the truth is that unless he has a bionic mind and he has vision when he can map out everything and know where everything is going to happen, a lot of what happens in our country and a lot of what can be done to make it better, it really lie back with the citizens, And you can be so many places at any one time. But we really have to go back to the point of being watchdogs and take back or make it happen for us, because you can be in your house, you don't want a pitney, you want a brother, and you do not have an idea that's what your brother going to do next. As a matter of fact, you want a friend or your brother can come in, can go out and do whatever and come back and you have a clue as to what just happened. It happens in many households in Jamaica. Pitney come out, gone kill somebody, come in and parents even know say they're gonna kill somebody. So, but and then those people who know, are they willing to speak up or be part of the solution? So there's just so much that any one leader, any one MP can do in any country. It really takes a collective effort of everybody to be a part of that solution. Now, I think your question is, how do we see Jamaica? And right now, honestly, certain aspects of Jamaica to me is almost unidentifiable. From the chopping thing, where you have this, it just come like a blanket of laziness, like, for us who are willing to put in the sweat and to put in the work and to make it happen and you really earn our living, we are actually working I'm thinking that I'm seeing my mother. And when I go home, my mother, by the time she couldn't go in her house, she lock up in the house hot. I'm not feel start grill up the house because as you go in, so she just lock her door down our country. You know, so on Westmoreland, lock her door.
Hold on there.
Huh?
Pick up from me. Hold on there.
Mm.
What do you call it now? Yeah, a council of the Jamaica Labour Party was on nationwide news a couple of days ago. And he said to nationwide owner, Sir Cliff Hughes, that all the people in Westmoreland, those places want is road and water. And when they get the road and the water, they're not missing nothing more. I am from Westmoreland. And when he said that, I was a bit irate. I was gonna call this situation. I was saying, don't call this situation, leave it alone. You're saying to me now that your mother is so afraid that my sister can show up in the house.
Definitely, and she's a senior. But even before we get into all of that, even are they talking about the MP talking about road and water? We and you're in the know, don't you? It's obvious that Westmoreland is one of the hot spots with crime and violence over at least the past year.
You can send Elizabeth. Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth.
All right, and the data is there. We are one of the hottest spots. I have a friend who, when he said to me, okay, Trudy, when you can wait for your drink, and he said to me, say, when you come here from a town, I say, boy, they're the West, man, so I keep back in the mother. And him say, hold on, the man, you're the Westmoreland. I'm supposed to come give you a drink. Better if you email the drink or WhatsApp the drink if you don't come at town. When I Kingston and is telling me that they're afraid to come to Westmoreland, I said serious.
Mm.
right? All I'm saying, so when it comes on to roads and water are things that should be available for citizens regardless. But we cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that crime and violence is one of the biggest issues for Jamaica right now. The scamming, the younger generation, and the truth of the matter is that we can have resources for the young people to do better, but some of them choose. You could have put one rope on their neck and carry them in one classroom and say, sit down and try to learn something, learn a trade. They choose to do otherwise. And the otherwise is that the healthiest thing for us. So you're asking me, what does Jamaica look like to me now? The physical infrastructure is beautiful. The rivers, the beaches, we know it's Jamaica nice. But in terms of the corruption, in terms of
Yeah.
the decay, in terms of even our a lot of our young people, especially the young men, there's a lot that needs to be done. And the question is, what do we do and how we do? Because it's also a mindset, it's
But
also a
hold on there, hold on
deculturalization.
there, hold
Yeah.
on there. One of the things we must stop confused.
Mm.
And when we talk about the Jamaican people, we have over the years we have developed a culture. We know that the people go to school, and one of the
Mm.
worst things you can ever do is make a person feel inadequate. And so, if you just talk about our education system, why when you're talking about the employability of an individual, so
Mm.
we go from what them call it basic or infant school to primary school, then we leave primary school and we go secondary. But
Mm-hmm.
from with their infant school, me can't read and write. Why do you still push me up to all the way to secondary? So I am not able to function at my maximum level because I not even understand where I go on the board. You don't even have an assessment of a child in Jamaica who has a learning disability. Now we think when once upon a time people used to just say we slow. That them people are slow. Now we have autism, we hear about different learning challenges. And so that is where you need to address how you do it. Because if you could assess an individual, maybe at the primary level, to say, this person might not be academically inclined to go to a university, but certainly when they reach a secondary level, we should start to begin to look at skill training from 7th grade, as opposed to them doing the whole 14 subjects on the CXC syllabus and knowing that them can't manage one. So they're there and you have already confirmed in their own psyche. But me done already. Now you see the culture that has emerged from that, my sister, where you say done school, children going back to school, done some brawling with it. And so it becomes a part of why many of our young people become unattractive, because we who are the policy makers should be making the policy in such a way that we look at the human capital of the country and we start to invest in it based on people's assessment. Now, if you go to a job in the United States, they do what is called the psychometric testing to see if you truly, I think that's what I heard Jeffrey calling you, if you have social skills to work with people in an office, or that is what is going to be needed as part of the training for you to be able to function effective. A lot of our people, truly, we not feel, when you hear Jamaican talk about, I show me poor why you handle me so. That in itself is confirming to you, how them feel about themselves. And we have not done anything since independence, really, to inspire the Jamaican people to be more than what they are. We all the factories are closed. If them try to sell something in the market, Garfield, you run them off. You take what the people them, when you take what the people them material, Garfield, because you say they are not supposed to be out there offended. It's a double-edged sword we always talk about, my brother, because you tell them not for out there for vent. But them can't read and write, and them have no 10 CXE subject for go university to get the degree. When you take the goods, you confiscate that goods in a Garfield, and then you don't give it back to them. Where do they go to get money to go restart? And how have we structured a policy like what is in England, for instance, where market days are allotted 3 days out of the week, and the business people them understand say we're going to allow the people to come out and vend it in a proper structure. So it is so unfair when we hear say, boy, it's because we not have it. Because once upon a time, member in our own family truly. When my father introduced him, if my sister the lawyer or my sister at the doctor or she is the one that have the best set of skill, gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back, Jacqueline. Gonna call you back. Those are the people who get mentioned. Just recently we are talking about skilled workers, but we need to address an assessment of what our people capability are. In the United States, you have something called the Jenny Craig job listing, where people can basically go at the community level. We need to ensure that we capture the people who we train and that there are jobs there that they can do. Other than that, my sister, we first make them ignorant and then we prosecute them when them become what we have created. Because we then, you have to ask me, in which chapter did we create these monsters? Everybody everybody can do something, but how are we assessing them and placing them?
Look, something that fundamentally went wrong in Jamaica. When the government of the day reorganized secondary schools in Jamaica, it was one of the greatest disservice that they did, stating that all schools need to be high schools. When they were doing that, they never evaluate the students in those schools to see if he or she can able to sit at an high school level and achieve the same success. And that is where we went wrong miserably. I remember the days of I'm going to Alpha Primary and South Camp Road. I would walk down North Street, go down past that Seventh-day Adventist Church, walk across Elliston Road where you have Kingston Technical. If you remember, across the street from Kingston Technical, that is where they have all their trade subjects. And you used to have adults that you would go to Kingston Technical High School during the day and learn a skill. But when you move away because you say you want to be first word, the fact of the matter, you eat it. You eat it. Everybody will never learn at the same level. Not everybody will be a doctor. Not everybody will go to university. But at the end of the day, when you disenfranchise the youths of the day and you create this high school syllabus, they can't learn at it. If you look in Portmore, Bridgeport Secondary, it was a reason why it is named a secondary school. Now, mark you, there are many people came out of a secondary school and gone on to universities. And that is why we had the 9th grade achievement test when we are in secondary school. So if you never pass your common entrance in 6th grade and you have gone to a secondary school and you have excelled and you have seen where academically you can move up the ladder, you are recommended to take your 9th grade achievement and then you move on to a technical school because you were taught a technical trade in the secondary school. And that is why you have the Dunoon Technical and the St. Andrew Technical, the St. Elizabeth Technical, and all these schools. But these are the things that the ministry need to go back to formulate a plan and listen that not every child, not every girl, not every boy will learn at the same level. In Jamaica, when I'm going to primary school, yes, them say we're slow. We never have a psychological assessment of a child. A teacher used to tell us we're dunce. And these are the things that damage the mind of us. One of the biggest things, Luke, and I don't mean to go on, This argument in Jamaica that you're a child and you must be seen and not be heard, that has created some serious psychological effect on kids.
Yes.
Because you have to talk. And these are the things that happen.
Yes.
So Garfield, you see what me I tell you, so the emancipation. When you hear people in Jamaica say anything black no good, imagine you as a black person look at me and tell me as a black person say anything black no good.
Well, that contributed to the whole bleaching situation also.
Exactly. So the fact of the matter is that for us as change agents, I believe that we need to raise the bar. And this is why I always come back to the point, Garfield and the other guests and the listener. If Jeffrey them don't spend some time starting to write new policies, don't expect these people to do it. Because the spin-off of that in a Garfield is that the more uneducated people you have depending on a political system,
exactly.
It is going to keep that political party in power. Because you can spin the message to say the people, oh, the government built 2,000 houses. There's 4 million people in Jamaica. Now we're building skyscrapers. And oh, we have done some touch-up work when the princes come into the hospital. Why we never have good machines? So the people don't have an high expectation of government. You give them enough of scrums of diabetes table to keep them perpetuating that this political party care for them. So you have to fix education in Jamaica. And if you can give people the sense of, I am somebody, I am black, I am beautiful, I might not be a doctor, but I am talented. Because look here, the doctor not necessarily can't fix him on a chair and build him on a furniture. He not necessarily can't go and fix the car. And if him pipe busting out, he must know how to fix it. So everybody has to see themselves as important in this bigger picture. And
Yes.
so we don't need to come on and say, boy, I don't know why. Because you know why, Trudy, and you know why the young people them is the sheer hypocrisy. As Garfield said, us children must be seen and not be heard. So here what you do know, you run the partner, Trudy, and you take Tanya money, and our draw come, and you well I know say you spend it at courts, and you say to the pitney in the house, if Tanya come tell her say me not there, and the pitney go out the door and say, Auntie Tanya, mummy not there, and you beat the pitney. You know, me never tell her so. We have cultured a several secondary culture as a result of the fact that we have not given the Jamaican people a sense of importance. And just me no want nobody to call up my name tonight, because me I try 2024, me I try to live at peace with all man. If you're going at the registrar department, Jeffrey, RGD them treat you like dog in there.
Yes.
If you're going at the police record office in Jamaica, the little front people them treat you like dog in there. So
no, that's right.
And if you go in at the if you go our police station, imagine one of my sister them panda program here, go a police station. Garfield feel them up. She not necessarily want to talk. Mom, what you come here for? What you come here for? Can I speak to you? Then I'll talk, me I talk. So constantly, the Jamaican people are in battle as to why you treat the man in the jacket suit one way, why you treat the people uptown one way, and you treat we another way, and yet still you are supposed to be working for us. So until we identify and call an ace and give the Jamaican people a clear identity of their importance, and bring them, Jeffrey, into the framework of how we shape policies that is going to affect their life. Look at local government election. You can't call it. You should have a set date for local government election. It should not be at your BS that you're withholding a fundamental function of a country.
We soon touch on that part. Let us the two lovely ladies that we have here, Tanya and Trudy. Tanya, you've been too quiet. Talk to us. Talk to us. As a Jamaican woman, you heard what Blue, I'm going to give her a secret, your sister, and Garfield said a while ago. What do you see? Do you see a solution to Jamaica's problem that we face? We have so many problems because I'm going to play a clipping that right now people don't feel comfortable putting the money in the bank.
All right, so let me give my little 2 cents before you move on to that video there. Jamaica have a lot of issues, right? And I hate it when we Jamaicans say that, oh, there is crime everywhere, there is issues everywhere, right? There is issues everywhere, but those countries deal with their issues in the interest of the people. In Jamaica, no issues is being dealt with, right? And the reason why is the government, especially Andrew, because me go touch on Andrew right now. Him is the ruling government, so maybe talk about him. Whenever you get a nation of people who do not stand up for their right, or who is not really educated about, about the country, about their rights or anything like that, and then just sit and just take everything that is shoved down their throat, then the government is going to play, or the politician is going to play you, because they know that it's either you are afraid or you don't know better, right? So every advantage that they have, they're going to take it, right? And they're going to abuse you to the end. Until when they get rid of that fear, and until when you're looking at yourself and you're like, listen, I'm a Jamaican, I deserve better than this, right? You're going to educate yourself about the Constitution. You're going to stand up for your right. If you do not give the government something, right, to kill you for, then you're not going to die. They're definitely gonna take your life because they can take it. Because what, you just sit and you take everything. No, you guys were talking about education. The dumbest me ever see Jamaica is right now. Because I remember when I used to go to school, I go to a secondary school, and then when I leave secondary school, I went on to Stonehill Heart Academy, right? And then I got into the workforce, right? At that time, we were educated about a lot of stuff. Where are those kids now? They probably leave the country, right? And they leave. But the kids in Jamaica now is a different type of dunceness. Different type of dunceness.
Yeah, but Tanya, please don't use the word dunce.
Garfield, give me one. Garfield, give me one.
That word, please. Let us move.
Give me one next word.
Don't use the word dunce. Use the word they are not overachievers, but the word dunce is degrading, and we need to use positive words to uplift one another.
Well, actually,
she said, yeah, we're just a challenge individual, no, man.
I am using a word that we all use, and we all understand that word. But not because I say that somebody is done, it doesn't mean that I'm downgrading the person.
No, I understand, but let us get rid of that. Let us get rid of that. But continue.
Until we have another word where we can really use. I mean, I'll continue if you say dunce, because
use the word slow learner. No, but let us not go fully.
No, I'm not gonna use the word slow learner.
And the reason why though, and the reason why I said it, you see, people have to be careful of what we said, because we saw in Jamaica at the back to school in September, where merchants were importing bags into Jamaica, mark the word fully dunce.
Exactly.
Right? And they were making money from it and over fist. And it gets into the urban society, and people were buying it. And I am saying that I myself, as a child who, if I had a child into school, that is not a bag that I'm going to go down King Street or downtown Miami to buy. Because at the end of the day,
Garfield, if we have a government that allow these things, allow these Chinese to bring in containers and unchecked, what do you expect?
No, well, you see, Jeffrey, this is where I'm going to break rank with you.
Why?
When we say we have a government that allow the Chinese to bring these things into Jamaica, remember, Jeffrey, and we don't want to go off the rail, the Chinese went into Jamaica and the Chinese saw a vacuum and they filled the gap. You know, Jeffrey, that they are Jamaicans inside of Jamaica, outside of Jamaica, who could have literally eradicated the space of what the Chinese are taking space of. But we choose not to invest in that direction. And these Chinese are Asian, are Indians. And
No. Don't say we choose not to invest in that direction.
No, don't say we choose.
No, hold on here for me, Tanya. Hold on.
No.
Hold on for me, Tanya. Hold on. Let me tell you why I'm not.
Let me clarify that, Jeffrey. Remember, we have indigenous Chinese that lives in Jamaica. The majority of the majority of these Chinese merchant downtown in the public space, downtown in the market space, them come from Far East China. And what they do, they use Jamaica as a platform to get to the United States. Okay? If you go into one of those stores in anywhere in Jamaica, you see them only for 4 or 5 years. After 4 or 5 years, a new set come. And I am saying, if we have, as Jamaica, if we were taking that space, they wouldn't come into Jamaica, Jeffrey.
Let me say something to you now. I've never said this publicly. I want to say it now. In 2014, 2015, yes, I started a local water business in Jamaica. All right? I went to the Bureau of Standard to get the label, what do you call it now? Notarized, or whatever they want to call it.
Approved.
Approved, rather. Yes, thank you. You know what I went through to get that?
The red tape.
When I done, I spent $1 million on just getting label to approve.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. The level of red tape that is in the country with Jamaicans trying to start a business is unbelievable. But when the Chinese come, the red carpet is laid out for them. Or any other nation, the carpet is laid out for them. But we, the Jamaican people, are going through the pans of hell to start a little business. So don't tell me that we don't want to start business. Of course we want to. But we got too much red tape. And until they lift the red tape that is going on in the country, then Jamaicans can't get a chance to come in.
I strongly disagree with what Garfield said, and the reason why, my family, we have business in Jamaica. And according to what Jeffrey said about the red tape, we've been through shit just to get our business up and running. The same people where we have to deal with at Kingston are the same people that we deal with the Chinese. And I am sure the Chinese get their thing up and running within 2 or 3 days. For us to get a red plate for a bus, it took my sister almost 3 months in Jamaica, running back and forth to Kingston.
But hold on,
Jeffrey. Again, Jeffrey, why you, if you have to talk now, just talk. But Jeffrey, the challenge is, you see where the audience, I said what I said to you a while ago, say, we not feel like we are nobody now. Because the truth of the matter is that Jamaicans who come here to do business, if they are not prepared to pay those high-end lawyers who can find loopholes in the system that makes it fast track the system, But what we need to ask for is an overall of the system that says that, okay, for instance, you have a Jamaica Business Development Center. If you want to start a business, you come in and you talk to one of our officers and they will take you through the paperwork. I think what Tanya is saying, that if I have a bus, I really need to be earning, and I don't necessarily want to break the law, so I need to be earning tomorrow. Could Tanya have spoken to a center where somebody could say, okay, Tanya, we understand the projection is this, the time that you want to start is that, so we're going to work on it. We're going to help you to fill out the forms. And the cost of it, part of that too, Tanya, what we have to also remember, Jamaicans are signatory to a lot of international standard that is not realistic to us. So if we're going to curse the Chinaman is willing to pay his money. Like when you go to KPH and you realize that you want to leave there by 9 o'clock, but if you don't pay the security guard for number 1, you're going to have to stay in the line. It's unfortunate that, again, we have created criminals by not allowing the system to work efficiently. And that, for me, my sister, is a policy decision that needs to be taken. That if you want to attract your own people, for instance, why was the Norman Manley Airport franchise out to Mexican and not Jamaican? Is it that we're all so broke that you could not even go into a private partnership and then sell out the shares of it, so everybody feel like them own piece of Norman Manley and International Airport? The first thing you hear the Jamaicans are saying, oh, we're being treated badly by the Mexican. So it is not that.
But Luke, that is what I'm saying. We leave a void and these people are filling the void. That is the thing. We leave a void.
But when me agree with what you and Tanya are saying, she has said, she's basically saying that she has highlighted the difficulty. You are saying to them, we are saying to this audience, it's a void. What is there for the recommendation? We must have a business development center for every Jamaican going in, and that is going to take them through the registration process. That is going to come now look at the legal aspects of it and what are the different agencies that you have to meet their standard. And at the end of it, give the costing so that people see it. Sometimes the paperwork gets in the tray, but it's not pushed fast enough because, and this is not a void that we have left, we have criminalized our people. The people who pay extra money, Garfield, those are the people that we are going to push through. And the people who might not be able to pay that money or is not willing to pay that money because the system really should work equitably, they get shafted in the process. And so if you have one agency that provides these services and you have officers every day meeting so much people, and the output is that every officer has to put out, at least for the week, just for argument's sake, 100 of these applications, get the necessary agency, let them do it, and cut out the length of time that people will have to wait. So Tanya is waiting on the officer and she gets a message. Tanya, your application is now with the Ministry of Transport and Works. As soon as it come back, it will go there. We're likely to tie this up. People want that. That is what we need to cut out the fact. We don't have to be paying somebody, because if we motivate the Jamaican people to work and them feel like they're appreciated and they're compensated, hopefully they don't have to be taking an extra 5,000 or extra 10,000. And the Chinese, unfortunate, Garfield, will pay. They pay their way through this country. And Jeffrey, another thing when I agree with Garfield though, when me that grew up still, I grew up with Chinese, but you see that city where I come, they are not as cultured to out of many one people. Them like for disrespect.
No, they are not.
Yeah, they're not cultured. The one we grew up with are real Chinaman. Respect to the Chinaman.
Right, hold on for me. And that is why I remember going downtown Kingston one day with some friends of mine. And I went to a Chinese store. And I can hear, I'm like, what the hell is going on inside here? You black Congo, you black Jamaican, go do this, go do that. Oh, no, say Jeffrey get mad.
Right.
So I say, hold on a minute. And she start, who are you? I say, I'm from the tax administration of Jamaica. Are you paying taxes in this country? And she start, why are you asking a question? I said, because you know why? We came here by labor plane, not by aeroplane.
Okay.
How dare you come to this country because that way? That's when I done with her.
You put that, you send her to the file 19. But you know, folks on the panel, you know what is going on in Jamaica, taking over Jamaica, especially in the NGOs. You have lobbyists. You never hear the argument lobbyists. You only hear about lobby in North America, the lobbyists. But you have some serious people who are lobbying, who are some great lobbyists in Jamaica, but yet still nobody hear about these people. And this is where the same thing that Tanya is saying, the red tape, the implementation of certain businesses and organizations that the government form and create a body of people for gatekeepers. These people are put there. For example, you see the minister come out recently of local Ministry of Transport, Darrell Vaz, and he come out with a program for public transportation. Remember, a lobbyist is behind that because it is out for them people now to make money out the system, and these are the gatekeepers. You see that he reduces bus fare. Remember, I know he gave the taxi an increase, but he reduces the bus fare and the JUTC. Now, how does the JUTC stay competitive when they cannot compete and move as fast as a taxi? The lobbyists come into play again. Certain things.
So hold on there, Garfield. So why are we pumping nearly $86 billion in JUTC? Well, it's losing money left, right, and center.
Exactly.
JUTC is the milking cow for the two political parties in Jamaica.
Exactly. So that is what I'm trying to say to you.
Where they can put people who only can put up their foot on part of the dashboard.
That's what I'm saying.
And some former police officers and all kind of somebody in there.
Luke talk about Norman Manley. Luke talk about Norman Manley and Donald Sangster. But I can go further within those two buildings. When you walk into the Norman Manley, it's not. When you walk into Donald Sangster and you look at the Jamaican craft, who are the ones who are selling it? Indians, Bob Marley. Okay.
Because it is so hard for a Jamaican to get a store inside the airport.
So the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this. When you look at that and look at the concession stands at Sangster's International Airport, and normally when you go there, you cannot get an authentic Jamaican meal if you are flying out of Montego Bay. I will give you a better joke. If you are familiar with the Norman Manley Airport, right outside the airport by the arrival desk, you used to have a Jamaican restaurant. Sometimes you go there, it open, sometimes it close. Because the foreigner is not interested in that. They are interested in the departure lounge. And that is how business works. I mean, the truth of the matter, Jeffrey, the truth of the matter, until we Jamaicans decide not only to go in low-hanging fruits and to go into long-term longevity of infrastructure, we will always have foreigners coming to Jamaica. Because, look, for example, you have a company named YP Seaton and Associate.
You be careful you call people in my way.
Well, it's a company. It's a Jamaican company. This company do a lot of business outside of Jamaica. And it is headquarters in Jamaica. You have, home builders in Jamaica builds a lot of homes outside of Jamaica at more affordable rates than in Jamaica. Think about this, the housing trust. I heard someone says
let us not switch from the conversation that we're having doing.
Well, I'm just talking about the void. I mean, okay, we won't switch, but I'm just talking about the void that Jamaicans who have the resources and choose not to invest in Jamaica. Most of these businesses in Jamaica, only keep operating capital in Jamaica, Jeffrey. Them keep it in your backyard. In the
Yeah,
United
but
States.
Garfield, it goes back to something that I said earlier. You remember when we started out at school, nobody teach us investment portfolio. And we believe that making an investment is only for the rich people. So people don't get that financial education alongside the academics. Because you have some people, they are not as bright as others, but when it comes to running a small business, they can. And that is why I'm saying that the important is people who have found themselves in the upstream salary scale and the middle stream salary now invest for their children. Then pay into an insurance program and then basically set up a scholarship, and some of them have trust fund for them children and their grandchildren to come. Part of the education in helping the Jamaican people, and we should really, this panel should be waiting for the government to create it, because again, I'm saying, Jeffrey, it's driven by policy. Policies must be crafted by people. People must say, you must have these discussions, and it just lodge here. It stays on it must become practical that we can look at it, create it, because what you're talking about, Jeffrey, in other space, Barbados are create them where you have business hub that help people to just basically set up, and it connects you to both the government and the government grant funding as well as loan funding and so forth. It's time that as Black people and Jamaicans that we have a real discussion, Jeffrey, about wealth creation and pushing the commercial policies that are going to open up the market. So, Jeffrey, look here now. In a Jamaica, say you can't read and write. What is going to be what kind of job you can do? Because right now, them tell us a conductress have 3 sexy subjects. You so far you move the goalpost on the people them. Household helpers are required to finish level 3 at heart. I am all for it. But how is an individual going to finish a level 3? So you see where you met them have to them have to buy the certificate from these offline people, because there is no national assessment center assessing people based on their capability and working with them. Look at how the food anglers are the food anglers, and I'm just trying to say you have to bridge the gap so that you're serving people. You're not frustrating them. You go food anglers and them do a presentation, Jeffrey, and I'm happy that at the end of it, if them say, if you're having a challenge writing the answers, somebody can assess it at the desk and write it for you, because somehow you might not be able to spell the answers, but you memorize what the presentation said and the person put it, and you get a score, you get a food handler. So you have to create a system by which people can matriculate. They can matriculate based on their ability, while we are working into that job, creating other spaces. Because just as our Garfield said, a man should be able to leave a job in the evening and still go continue education in carpentry. And you have a space where you have a job bank. So when that individual is completed his level of training, he can go and build out the job bank. So it's just about how you create opportunities for your people that is going to decrease them feeling that they are worthless and they have to live on crime, which pays a lot of people, versus making a positive contribution based on their God-given talent. And that is what we need to be pushing. We here need to be pushing, making Jamaica a more transparent country for all its people, that it's functioning, and the efficacy of the state agencies are tailored to the need and the wishes of the Jamaican people for full prosperity. We can't eat. We
Yes.
can't eat.
Let us switch gear.
What
Let
how?
us-
Hold on
Pardon
there.
me?
Hold on there. Me have a burning question. You said conduct. You said to be a
Conductress, you need three
conductor,
safety.
right? You need three who?
Safety.
Three sexy. And those conductors, which bus they work on? The
JUTC.
bus or regular bus?
JUTC.
JUTC.
So them apply for the job online and them get them, them get the job and them get them benefit and everything like that. And
Look,
how much
look
of them
here.
salary?
JUTC workers, me can't tell you. Me not go jump up, but one time I know say them that work minimum wage. But maybe minimum wage they have increased it now. But Tanya, you know, so one time people didn't align a KC with master's degree just to come out of them house.
Oh yes.
You know,
They were in the lines that
Hold on
KC
here.
with the people.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. Hold on. We don't have enough time.
one
Hold
second.
on for me.
Or a server?
Are you all hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
One
we are.
Okay. Hold on me for me. We don't have enough time. I have two other things I want to get out with. We have some telephone calls to come on in because I'm not going to stay until 10 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
I have to get up in the morning very early.
You know what? You know I make we talk.
No. Me not suit you.
Jeffrey, may I agree, Jeffrey, may I agree. Try to wrap up. Make Garfield the right policy. And that's him for do.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, who not hear this program should I get the policy document. Every week we should have the Make We Talk policy document. This is what people say. This is what we want to see. And we must listen to it because we are not for that UNO.
We're going to switch gear to something that is getting a lot of Jamaicans all riled up. If we can't put the money in the bank and the bank is not safe, where should we put it? It can't go on a mattress anymore.
You can't come check me. Me buried. I'll bury it for you.
And then there goes another factors now for us, even in terms of trying to invest in our country, because when my mother called me today and tell me about the elderly man who lost $1.5 million.
$6 million I lose. 6 million.
6 million, right? And we are trying to go back home now, figure everything back home now. What was, because I'm here trying to figure myself no, backside, I'm supposed to do now. Me don't really want leaving money on foreign, but me can't make it go a yard either. So
I'm tell you, link my man. It's a guarantee that nothing will happen to your money.
Yeah, man,
You give me a show up it to God. Where him take it and what come down, me take it for myself and get back into money. No, but Jeffrey, and by the way, we hear about the big league them are going on NCB. That is the one that we are hear about. The other one them not tell you. One me hear about one we're going on JN. May just it and allegedly we have heard that. But what I am saying, Jeffrey, me not hear nobody come out and talk about cyber security. So it's this week now me I talk to a brethren.
Hold on. Remember what you're gonna say. I remember in one of the policy papers presented to the Jamaican government by the said Rupert A. Francis, who wrote the letter to the Jamaican ambassador in Washington. One of the policies that he presented to them way back when was cybersecurity, and they told him, no, we can deal with that. They even went as far to the banking sector in the country to speak about cybersecurity, and they shunned them off. And now what we're seeing.
All right. And to say and to big up Rupert. What are we Rupert seeing black people them, Jamaican people them? I throw him under the bus because the whole of them are wait to get them OD or OJ.
Yes, go ahead.
One is a set of Judas without any conscience. That's why nobody not believe in our you know. So no love back here. Because the man basically says something that is true. We all say power back veranda, but because you really want the award, you're going to sell out the man for 40 pieces of silver and make the man look like him is a troublemaker. He not say nothing what we not say. And the truth of the matter, I am not surprised. That's why I'm in a big panda brand. I am with people who me see, me and them share like mine and we can walk. But the fact of the matter is that this has been going on, Jeffrey, because I don't buy on Shein and Alibaba. I have never bought anything on that. And you're going to tell me, say, I spend $85,000 on Shein and $64,000 on Alibaba. I don't go on those. I don't allow my cards to go on those. I don't even shop online. Me shame for say, but me not buy clothes regular and me not know what them sell on Shein, but me think I clothes. Because when I ask people what is Shein. But it's people in the banks that are doing this. And there has to be cyber security. There has to be a greater feature. So Rupert word like Nostradamus is coming to pass. Let them know go figure out. But we have to protect ourselves because here, my sister just said when she come down with a little money, but it not really happen at Mayberry. It not happen when you do it in the investment firms, but in the commercial banks, it is happening. And there has to be a fear sense of urgency because let me tell you, you see when you forget about the money, Garfield, it is one of the most frustrating. Because even the bank send you email to make you think say you spend the money, you know. The email that you get, it's almost like you're telling, like Google Garena, a game. Somebody spent 360,000 upon that game. You email the bank and say, I don't play Google Garena. Right. When them come back and say, this is the email, this is the name of the person that the email is registered. Come on, people. Somebody in the bank is doing this. But I'll say this, that is something that happened. In another capacity that I operate in, Jeffrey, I saw a young lady here who was recently arrested on fraud. And the thing is that somebody inside of the bank approached a secondary contractor outside. The secondary contractor approached and recruit 3 or 4 of us sitting at this platform, and we all give them our account that is connected to that particular bank. I'm not going to say which bank it is because that is a case that is before the court. In one day, the second recruiter also asked us to give up our
TRN number.
No, not TRN number. The debit card, the debit Visa card. $800 or $1 million is lodged to that account. It is taken off within half an hour. Right. Taken out of the account. And you, the person who gave up your account or your card, you get probably $40,000. You didn't know the sum until the police now come and arrest you.
Right.
And it's people inside of the bank. So what I'm saying to Jamaican, don't be afraid to invest your money. You might have to just do it in the Mayberries and the bigger ones that don't have that cash moving around, where we hopefully another SSL will happen, but you will check your account on a regular basis and follow the security features. But at this juncture, cyber security, Jeffrey, is critical. But there also need to be an internal investigation into the bank. Because remember, Garfield, every banking system works with a set of procedures, how you apply, deposit, transfer, and so forth. So you must now follow the trail as to who have access to, who would be more likely to. Other than that, you're going to hear far much more story in the upcoming week. But that's not sexy. That not sexy like when you say, why we not get the JDF and the JCF investigating, working alongside with these people to bring to account. People have had to settle for far less while people are going before the court with their situation. It's unfortunate, but I would say to people, change up your PIN number, put more of your money into the investment portfolios and not into your regular account. Don't keep large sum of money out there. Put them in your investment portfolio and ensure that you are doing the checks and balance that your money is still there. But cyber security is going to be critical, Jeffrey, because this is happening every day.
Put more money inside investment account like golfing. Anyway, we're gonna play this video here.
Yeah. Can't get it perfect, Jeffrey.
Hold on, we're gonna play this video. Let's listen to this.
$1.7 million gone in 2 days.
Oh Lord, what on earth is going on here now? Hold on there for me.
$1.7 million gone.
Hello, Boshande. Luke, speak some thing for me now. Let me fix this and get back to this.
In 2 days,
okay.
One woman was left with just over 600 Jamaican dollars after years of saving and accumulating almost $2 million in her account. Omar Lyons has her story.
$0.7 million to $636. A discovery that left a woman in eastern Jamaica stunned. Working for decades and saving money for a rainy day, only to see her bank account empty, left her in a mental storm.
It's rough, and the only reason why I am still sane and I am not getting too depressed is because I am a Christian. I've been praying about it, fasting and praying. My church brethren are encouraging me and praying. So that is the only thing that is keeping me, just my faith in God.
Now, a bank statement shows 4 different transfers from her account. 2 on October 12, 2023, $500,000, then $490,000. Then on October 13, $500,000 again, then $220,000. This she realized 2 days later after she went online to do a transaction, as she does from time to time. When she logged in, her balance left her unbalanced.
Immediately, I called customer care because when I opened the thing, I realized that a large sum of money was removed on the 12th and on the 13th. So I called customer care immediately. When I explained to them what was happening, the person said to me, the money from your account was transferred. If I made a transfer, I said, no, I didn't make any transfer. The money was transferred to another bank.
The money was transferred to someone she doesn't know, and the customer care agent told her it seemed as though she was a victim of a scam and subsequently closed the account. The woman then went to the Morant Bay branch to make a formal report. There, she spoke to the manager and was then directed to the police.
They asked me if I got any text message or email or anything, which I responded to, which I said, yes, I got an email sometime before.
It was this email, purportedly from the National Commercial Bank, NCB.
I clicked on the email, but then it didn't do anything. It was just like going around in circles, and I came off, and that was it. That was all that I did.
On December 11, 2023, NCB posted this infomercial on its Instagram page. Too late for this victim. Ramarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Lord have his mercy on us all. Yeah, too late for this victim.
I hear you, but I beg, I must chime in on this though. You know, that this is where the Financial Services of Jamaica, the Bank of Jamaica, and the good minister Nigel Clark, these are legislation that need to be bring to the parliament, that the bank money is insured, and the bank must push that insurance also back to his or her clients. There is no way possible this lady should lose her money and her money is not immediately returned to her. And one thing I can tell you is that the banking, Lucas said it right. Most of these cyber crimes are being taking place in the bank itself. And when these people are going to work, they need to go to work with no cell phone leaving the locker room, and transparent bag. Because when you do that, people are there communicating to what people have in bank account. And it is a system that when you go to a teller and the teller look into your account, the teller should be using systems that as soon as they log out of your account, your account is closed down. So, I mean, the banks in Jamaica make billions and billions of dollars of profit. So it's nothing if they were to return back the loss to the people, because they are making the profit. They post these profits all the time on a quarterly basis. And when you have people, the problem is that we're having in Jamaica, we have too much securities in the bank. And the same securities that they are put in place is robbing the people. We see if you have $1 million in the bank and you don't visit the bank because you live in Japan like Luke, they're going to charge you a service fee and your money. That's not right.
Yeah, thank you for showing shades on me.
Look, before I go on, look.
But Jeffrey, before
I go on, let's go on. That is not the only person who was scammed from the same bank, Continue, look, we have another order to play. They can't play the videos, or they can play.
Jeffrey, but you remember when they said Francis said cybercrime?
Yes.
Do you remember that this present commissioner of police was scammed $1 million off his credit card?
Oh yes.
Yes.
At a gas station attendant.
Yes.
Who I saw the bed that she bought for 500,000 of it, served her time in jail, was part of a reform program I was working in. But it's just interesting how we like to cock up the tail feather and say, we don't want no help, we go down here.
Just send the money.
Without admitting the fact that we do need help, because there are people who are better at things than we are. So when we hear you talk about, they say that they don't want any help, and Rupert Francis said that, Jeffrey, let them talk. Make sure that the rest of us know who are feeling it. And this is one of the reasons why the pensioners, Jeffrey, who are being robbed pensioners are being robbed all over, Jeffrey. That's one of the things that we need to investigate. We need an investigation in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security,
I've been saying that for years.
And at the Poor Relief Department, and at the municipality council in downtown Kinza. You would be surprised how much thief there are town.
I want to play something here that when it was brought to my attention, I said, no man, not go so. When I heard TVJ with it, I was like, what the hell is going on? And NCB Bank, this has been going on. And the Bank of Jamaica hasn't done anything at all about it. Not one thing. Listen to this. This is ridiculous, because honestly, what is going on in the country? We need to stand up. And yet the naysayers are saying that is we in the diaspora is bringing on the brand name Jamaica. So when you rob Usain Bolt of $2 billion, when you rob a man who is 105 years old of his life saving of $6 million, who is bringing on the brand? Is it the Michael Talk program bringing on the brand? Listen to this, people.
Meet Vincent Wilson. He's a 105-year-old pensioner, but according to him, he doesn't look a day over 80. An accountant until the day he retired. His ability to recall is intact, but his hearing, not so much. And so this is how we communicate. By writing questions on paper, he reads them with his big magnifying glass and responds.
This is what I said, that we're going to put back the money, but that is like assuming responsibility. But you know what people about it?
Mr. Wilson revealed that he noticed a significant amount of money in his savings account at the National Commercial Bank, NCB, was missing last year. He doesn't use online banking, neither does he use a debit card. Instead, his transactions are done over the counter with his physical bank book. During one of his monthly visits, he discovered that over $6 million was missing from his account. The withdrawals occurred over a 2-month period. In a single transaction alone, $5 million gone. His balance, $83,674.07.
I don't feel good at all. This one is emotional. I don't eat, I lose my appetite. All that with them from morning here. It's just a backline show. You know? I don't have the appetite. I don't want them to eat. You know, it's messing up. And the book itself is where I'm supposed to be buried from.
TVJ News sought a comment from the bank about the matter. However, its policy doesn't allow for it to give out personal customers' data. Head of NCB's Fraud Prevention Unit, Dane Nicholson, said he would look into it. But for social development specialist Dr. Peter and Baker, it's financial abuse.
Elder abuse, especially stealing the money that they worked hard for or making it hard for them to get access to it, is one of the worst things we could do to the self-respect, the dignity of an older person. You fought so many battles that you're kind of, you know, why am I going to go and fight this one again?
And so we asked Mr. Wilson what has kept him going.
The father upstairs. Because every Sunday, believe me, I have to get to every church. I'm going to look straight, but I want them personal.
Vincent Wilson has since received a portion of his money back. Coupled with it is a signed document from the bank indemnifying it of any future legal actions. Jamila Maitland, TVJ.
You see how wicked these people is? Mr. Leachin.
Whoa.
Old pirate, yes,
Mr. Michael Leachin, get involved in this, sir, and make sure that man get back his $6 million, because his eye water is going to be on you and your pitney. The man worked all his life, save up his money. He's an accountant, and $6 million gone. What kind of country we living in? And people from the Labour Party have the audacity to be saying that we are the one who's bringing on Grand Jamaica. We in the diaspora is bringing on Grand Jamaica. When people from in the diaspora have been calling my phone asking me if we should give the banks in Jamaica their social security number, don't do it. Nobody in the United States should give away the money. Let them have the social security number to no one.
Jeffrey,
how on earth can we continue like this in our country?
But Jeffrey,
they're very poor people.
I hear
the
you.
elderly is being robbed in this country.
But Jeffrey, I hear you. I hear you, my boss. But one thing I can tell you, if you hear Fitz Jackson,
I was just going to say that.
The PMP MP for in Portmore there, I don't remember the constituency.
Central, whatever they play. I think it's Central St. Catherine.
Right. He's the only one that I have heard that is leading the charge to protect the depositors of Jamaica.
Nobody else.
But what I hear whenever he speaks, I hear everybody beat the desk. But one of the problems that we are running into is political donations, because the banks are the ones who are funding these political parties in Jamaica. So if somebody were to lead the charge on them, they will lose capital. And I must tell you, Jeffrey, we are going down a slippery slope in Jamaica when it comes on to banking.
Corruption, thiefness, man, and damn banking. Then they thief poor people money.
Well, Jeffrey, I will tell you that it is poor banking. I will not tell it is corruption.
It's corruption.
But because I have to have the evidence to bring forward, which these people have done so. But the government of the day, whether it's a GLP government or a PMP government, whatever government, the government of the day have to put in the parameters in the infrastructures to make sure the depositors' money are safeguarded. And the government must know that part of it is that, like in the United States, I can talk for. If I go into a patty shop and I buy a patty and that patty don't taste right, I call the bank and tell the bank I'm not paying. And the bank will ask me questions and then they automatically refund back my money. And until they finish their investigation, if they are satisfied that I was in the green, I was right, they charge it back to the merchant. And this is what needs to start in Jamaica. If you have a problem, I'm going to tell you this, the government of Jamaica is not fool, Jeffrey. Especially in the financial sector,
Yeah, man. If we know they're not fool because they hand, Jeffrey, they hand, touch it. Go ahead.
Now listen to this. If you got to Kingston Wharf, Jeffrey, back a couple of years back, and you send a vehicle or a shipment, and you are using an American credit card, them telling them they want it. Because they are aware that when you leave Jamaica, you can call that bank and tell them, say, you never spend that money. So they are safeguarding their purse. So they are not only need to safeguard their purse, they need to safeguard the purse of Miss Matty and Mr. Donald. So we must protect everybody and the government. And this is what MPs from both sides need to bring a bill to Garden House to protect the people of Jamaica money, the depositors. And that is what they need to do. But they're afraid to do it, both the PMP and the GLP, because they know if they were to do so, they can't go get $1 million for help political campaign. And we have to get past that, Jeffrey.
Lou?
So it's corruption.
Go ahead, Tanya.
So it is corruption. Because as far as me concerned, everybody in the same party pan, the bank and the government working together. So that is a big. Listen, man, when you have people putting money into your bank, right? One of the first thing you say, the money should be insured.
Yes.
And the customer should get back his money.
Yes.
And then they now have to go after the so-called scammer, right? To get back, if it's even to security court or something, but the customers always come first. And he has to get back his money.
But Tanya, remember, the bank have insurance on your money, Tanya. The bank has insurance on your money. The bank is pulling down the insurance. When you file a claim against the bank is filing a claim against the insurance to pull down your money.
So that's why they should give you back the money.
But the bank
look at this poor old man here. If you know, remember the big red NCB bank books?
Yes.
The man still got that old man there, the 185-year-old man, 105-year-old man rather, still have that old red bank book. He doesn't have an ATM card. He doesn't use the ATM. He doesn't do online banking. What he does is to go into the whole normal way. The old normal way to draw his money or deposit money. Now tell me something. If he don't have online banking, he don't have no credit card, no debit card, nothing. How your money missing? How your money gone?
Yeah, man. I want the serious.
And the bank is gonna give him back some of the money. And make him sign some paper that he's not going to sue them again. Listen to me. I don't have the audacity to be telling us that we are the one bringing on the country. Huh?
You also have Jeffrey, you also have a Financial Service Commission, that has not said anything. But if you look at the press advisory that they sent out, dating, I sent it to you, where they were saying that they are experiencing some cyber events. The it is critical, though, that we lobby for a greater security of what is happening in there. Again, I said, Jeffrey, I'm surprised that there is not enough people there inside.
What if you could make a couple extra $1,000 a month using one little?
Sorry.
I'm surprised though that they're fraudy. But I'll tell you, in my case, Jeffrey, I had an investigation with NCB where I got a message, and I think I reacted by just going to the bank, and I told them what it is, and they tell me that the investigation can go anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. They are inundated with reports like mine. But it leaves you in a panic situation because you don't know what is likely to happen. But after consistently going to them, I just asked them to change everything on that account card, everything, to have the matter resolved. They generate a case number, but in my case, I have not seen that the case is closed or it was reported to me what was the finding in that regard. And if you ask them, they tell you that they have sent an email to the fraud squad, and the fraud squad is to get back to you.
Who investigated the fraud squad?
You see, this is why I'm saying that there is a Bank of Jamaica, which is a central bank that sets rules and regulation for commercial bank, or a Financial Services Commission has oversight. But the truth of the matter, we need to find these people. Apart from Chantel Monroe, the accountant general, who tends to come out with unbiased report and tell you where them facts have been trimmed up, but she can't say who take it. Most of these people are comfortable, confirmed in the position, while the rest of us are suffering. And it goes back to the point, you don't want the help, but the commissioner of police went to a gas station, used his card, was singled out of $1 million, but you don't need cyber help to protect the country, and especially all Jamaican, but especially our vulnerable clients like the pensioner. Jeffrey, I'm telling you, an investigation should go into the undertakings of the Ministry of Labor and Security.
Hold on to me, please. Good night. Welcome to the Make We Talk program.
Jeffrey, good night.
Jeffrey, go ahead.
Yeah, this NCB problem, it has been going on for years. You go home to Jamaica, coming from Canada or United States, and when they ask you for all these identification, including your social security number. No, but you try to get a loan too. They want to run your American consumer credit report, and you live in Jamaica. You give them Jamaican driver's license, you give them Jamaican passport, and that they want to do. Then a man look at you and tell you that you can't give the loan because you do not have enough activity in the account. What when you ask him, what do you mean you don't have enough activity? Oh, he can't experiences, and you turn to him and say, you mean I don't have enough deposit or withdrawals? He say, yes, that's what they mean. So I said, if a man have 50,000 in the bank, Monday morning, and he draw 40,000, and I'm gonna have 50,000 for 3 years and I draw 1 cent. Which one would you give him the loan? Do you realize that the present finance minister, Nigel Clark, once served on the NCB board, right? So they're not gonna do Mr. Chin nothing. Michael Leach not gonna do anything. How can you rob a blind man, as you say, with a big book same way? You know, use credit card. You know, use debit.
He's not blind.
No, yeah, 105. Right, deaf, partially deaf. And nobody respond. The Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, the FIC, nobody came out. Not even the man who owned the bank. Come out and say, all right, it's unfortunate. We are investigating. Nothing the man totally ignore because the government is part of the government.
Not only that, sir. The question must be asked, who in the bank give this man the indemnity paper for him to sign?
That's easy. That's you can find out who was the teller. Right? It is right there on the computer who did it. right? Because if I'm a teller, the other teller can't go into my computer, right? Unless I can use my password, right? I went into the bank. Listen to this. The teller had a cup full of pens, and I asked her to give them one our pen to sign it. You know, this teller look at me and tell me, him not have no pen. Is a man next door, the customer behind me. He only said, "Don't give me a pen." You are treated like garbage because the man who owns that bank, he's part of the government. No can talk to him. In both parties, Fitz Jackson stood up in Parliament and fought to defend depositors in the bank. How many member of Parliament, 20 member of Parliament voted with him? They did vote with him. So all of them are part of the same system, round and round and round.
But Carla, I have alluded to that. I have alluded to that when Fitz Jackson stood up and he's milking this situation so people with dormant account, their money can be protected. Everybody stay quiet. Everybody stay quiet. I mean, and that is the thing. No, I can take it a bit further. When you go in the bank and you ask the tellers and the managers, why are you guys having so much red tape? You know what I'm telling you? It's Uncle Sam. It's the United States government.
Exactly.
This regulation.
They use America. They use America demanded.
Exactly. And I asked them. Let me ask you a question. Someone who comes from the United Kingdom or Europe, does the United States has any bearing on that country financial laws? It's a bunch of cackambule story. It's baloney. It is a ways and means. And how to see how the balance sheet work and how they can capitalize on your resources. Because
what happened with these banks in Jamaica? They copy the American banking system and do not copy what they're supposed to copy. They just do what they want to do. But they don't even understand it, right? If you use certain terminology to the bank manager not the teller, certain terminology, banking terminology, he's supposed to like you don't know what you're talking about. Right? They become bank managers, they become bank managers because they lend a service. How can you be in a bank, right? And that you demand withdraw money, not by no cyberspace nonsense or whatever. And nobody can trace it. And then $600,000 insurance in account in Jamaica is vastly inadequate.
$6 million
right?
he lost her. $6 million.
Yes. But it's only insured up to $600,000. You need the insurance for your deposit supposed to be increased. But the government of the day is part of the same bank. Because
the people of the Vumva, who own the bank, you know, are their friends. They sit down and have a wine glass together. Chicken long charm.
Listen.
So the glass all break.
This is so terrible. As you talk about them, you're damaging the brand, right? Look at you. You Jeffrey Tavares. What you do for the country, save the country. Are you at the brand?
Yeah,
when you take in both international superstar, all the major newspapers all over the world carry. You don't destroy the brand.
No.
You don't destroy the brand. As
what the Prime Minister said, a group of Jamaicans, both in Jamaica and in the Jamaican diaspora, is trying to destroy the brand of Jamaica.
It has already destroyed. There's no brand there.
Prime Minister Holness, when you do not declare your assets, sir, your declaration, sir, aren't you damaging the brand, sir?
Jeffrey, are you aware that the threshold to declare your income and assets was moved from $3.8 million to $12 million in this month, in January 24?
Brilliant move,
are you aware of that?
Carla, brilliant point. Brilliant point. So
do you know why it was moved? Do you know why it was moved from $3.8 million to $12 million? Because the Prime Minister's salary at this time, right now, because he didn't take the 200% increase, it's below $12 million. So you have to declare this year.
I mean,
it was moved, and you don't hear the opposition. You don't hear the opposition. Nobody on the opposition. Bring it out and say,
exactly.
The Jamaican people are here weird.
But exactly. Simple.
It goes from 3.8 million to 12 million, the threshold. And nobody, no opposition, no Mark Golding, nobody spoke about it.
Exactly. A brilliant point. I mean, I should have.
So what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now is that all those 6 people member of parliament, just like what happened with them at National Water Commission, right?
No report. That's it.
Start your limitation going run out. Start your limitation going run out, right? And the opposition still sit in parliament. Sit in parliament doing what? You don't have enough to stop all these legislation. So come on road. You're showing no purpose in the parliament.
It's all politics, my friend.
All right, Jeffrey.
Before Luke come in, the two ladies are quiet. I'm gonna let them speak, and they can depart because I know they have other issues to face tomorrow. So I can let them depart, and they look sleep in the eyes to you.
So no, but my question is, what are the Jamaican people going to do now? Because obviously the scamming in the bank system now going to stop.
Them can't lose their money.
A lot more people are going to lose a lot more money. But we're just going to keep on repeating the same thing all over again. So is it that they're going to boycott the banking system, or they're just going to
the question must be asked to the gentle people. The question must be asked to How is it? Hold on for me. How is it that an old man who is 105 years old use his old red NCB bank book? He used a withdrawal slip and a deposit slip. He does not have a ATM card. He doesn't use online banking. Luke, come into this one. Where money disappear to?
Just say I go like it cover me yard. Me never get none. Again, me tell you, say, my under no. Again, me try to tell you, Jeffrey. The man will come at NCB will say come revolutionize NCBs in government. In name Arbin Hill. Everybody left NCB because he came as their Lord and Master. Then them gave to Patrick Hilton. And now Patrick up at university. The fact of the matter is that the Financial Services Commission should now take the complaint with the Office of the Public Prosecutor of all of these situations that are affecting the Jamaican people. But I am not moving the confident to say that some of the more established firms, like we must teach our people about the investment portfolio. We have not heard about a robbery at Mayberry Investment. We have not heard about a robbery at Sagicor. And Garfield, to be fair, remember that the International Monetary Fund policy is not a Jamaican spearheaded initiative. It came out of countries saying that because of the amount of scamming that is taking place in Jamaica, that they had to come up with this new so them tend to put something in the mix. I'm happy though that the caller, because sometime in the discussion we don't get to rememberize some of these things that talked about the moving of the threshold. Just as how we passed over that when the increases of politicians were done, we never realized that judges in the judiciary system who tells Wilfred Rattigan that he doesn't have stay because he is no longer considered a son of the soil to bring such a charge against the judicial system. So Jeffrey, it goes back fundamentally to those who craft the policy, those who understand it. You have a very intelligent set of people who come on this program. Your audience is also intelligent, and hence you notice the caller of critical information that if you put it and say, why don't try this? Because Jeffrey, I can't understand. Me just tell you, them tell me, say, take over 2 weeks to investigate all the money gone, and you get a case number, and you could have called till God come or visit the bank. Just go to a bank. You're not getting anywhere with it. So it tells me that the people are inside of the fraud unit.
I have an elderly gentleman online. I want to make you come on. Hold on for me, please. Hold on. Caller? Hello? Oh, Lord, he hung up. Sorry, Luke, go ahead.
No, so it tells me, Jeffrey, that it is the people inside that you need some really good trained forensic auditors who can go in now and start looking at the NCV. But I am surprised because Leaching and that brand itself on making sure that they make things right. Yet still the bloodletting. And what is the worst part of what we just hearing in that report, which is depressing, you then silence the man by using the very law, not even giving the man the opportunity by getting to get somebody to go in. And here is where some of these thieving lawyers could be useful if them never just about theft free. Is when these things happen to us, we should be able to get your service pro bono. But what happened to the public defender who should take up this matter to say that you are in violation because the client has demonstrated he does not have the capacity? The compromise has to happen between the bank and the people who process this. And if the money come out in a cash, you must know the person, they must have video footage of the person who would have done the withdrawal. Because if he don't have an ATM, the person had to go in bank to do this withdrawal. So, Jeffrey, let me tell you, thief, I carry black and bag for thief. That's why I'm telling you, you see, the perception of somebody coming out and say, if we don't do this, me I go have JDF, but that is not what we want. We want to see politicians going to jail so that we set a clear example. From the head to the bottom is one law and everybody is accountable.
Not only politicians. Some of those people who call themselves permanent secretaries or secretaries, them for
But let us look at a comment. Someone in the comment section stated that we need a class action lawsuit against these banks. And again,
exactly.
You know, I mean, that's a brilliant point. We need a class action lawsuit against these banks, not necessarily one bank or any other bank, but when you are hurting, people need, lawyers in Jamaica need to come out as a class action lawsuit, and when a suit
but
is...
Garfield, but what may I say? There is a public defender for the Jamaican people, and this warrants the public defender's office to go after the bank, and we need to get a financial ombudsman who looks at these things and say, look here, you have not created safety to them, you know. So the class action, the action suit that we're going to carry is to ensure that we give back people. Look here, remember Garfield, in a them same bank there, you know, a $300 for deposit your money, you know, and $500 for take it out, you know. Where in God's name me join your bank and me should I pay you for deposit and withdraw my money?
Wow.
And you are using my money.
And you are using my money. Why? And so yes, Fitz Jackson, me tell you, say, you small, never tell no lie. He who plays by the rules shafted. Is they blatantly right across the board, except for Jamaica National Bank, started to charge you money, them tell you this is for the deposit and this is when you are going to withdraw your money. Why do I need to be banking with you? And this is why Jeffrey Tavares, we needed to ensure that we build out the PC banks and the credit union, them did our work. Because bad to bad, you know, them don't have them a problem, you know. Them consider to be the ugly cause of the financial system. You needed to make sure every constituency, if there was any good conscience in any politician, permanent secretary, and this private sector, and the PIOJ, and the Planning Institute, they should ensure that every constituency stay within their constituency. So we know who for also go burn down. Because you must be accountable to the people.
Yeah, but look at this robbery now. Someone in the comments states $198 to make a transfer at NCB. Remember, you know, the bank is saying to you, let us use the system. Let us use the automated system. Let us use the smart app to move your money around. And you are telling us that someone have to pay $198.
Yeah, my brother.
Then the person not
Chief
going
take
into the
over
bank.
town.
The person is not walking into the bank to take up the AC, to use up the light, to use up manpower. The app, you have to pay $198. No,
Hey,
these
brother,
are
them slip, brother, them slip like okra down here. But the fact of the matter, you know, it is fall to our charge. It's not just the highlight. Again, me say, you know, you see this brilliant piece of information. Every week we should have an article in the paper, the meta information, because a lot of people don't realize what going on, you know, because them now check every day. Me check my little money, and I'm not like you saying, Bolt. In fact, I don't even have done right now. But I check when any little money there, because the truth of the matter, Jeffrey, Mr. Leachin need to come out and make a public promise that he is going to give back this man and anybody who can show a valid complaint back the money. The mere fact that you not back the man into a corner is a shameful day. And I said to the public defender, that's why I don't forget $1 for pay. You must drink cornmeal porridge until it kill you, because the people of Jamaica are not seeing you come out and defend them. You think Mark Gordon is going to talk about that? That is not what is sexy. That is not what is sexy in a political year. And yet still, Fitz said it. But we couldn't run with it.
Hello?
Lord of His mercy, man. If we can't, we have $2 in our pocket, then we can't be the next government.
Good night, Paul.
We can't be the next government because silent justice can't
Tavares.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Mr. Tavares on your panel. I just want to interject my 10 cents here. I must say,
Speak up for me, sir.
Yeah, I just want to interject my 2 cents here. I must say that is not all banks are giving this problem, because I bank with CIBC, yeah?
Sir, speak
and
up
I
for me,
don't
sir.
have
I'm
no...
hearing
Hold on. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, loud and clear from Nickel Point tomorrow and point all Parliament here in Auto.
All right, what I'm saying, you see, good night again and good night to your panel. What I'm saying here, not every bank really have that problem, because I bank with CIBC, yeah, and I do a lot of internet transfer and stuff, yeah, from one account to the other, and there's no charges. And I've been with them for about 5 years now, and I have no problem with them. So, in my own observation,
you're that CIBC don't charge for deposit nor withdrawal?
No, not to move. No, yeah, they don't charge when you use the app to move money from your account. NBC is NCB. We call it NCB.
Hold on for me.
NCB is the culprit.
Then this 405-year-old man, what the hell him know about app and look and zip?
That is true. That is true. That is true. Yeah, he's not technologically, wise in that way. I understand that problem, but I'm just saying is, if you notice, most of the problem is NCB. NCB is a culprit. Most of these videos,
they are the one that we hear about because the others are managing their PR campaign.
NCB is a culprit. I just wanted to clarify that with CIBC, people need to do.
Look here, sir. It's not that we're not saying
start taking the money out of NCB, and there's other options. Go there, people, and take your money out of NCB and put it in CIBC or Scotia Bank. Give me a better bank.
Hey, CIBC needs to give commission.
Hold on for me, Luke. The question must be asked, sir. Why is it that these banks are charging so much money? Why is that these banks continue raping the Jamaican people without a condom?
Yeah. Look here. You know that the opposition. Opposition spoke
on. Ask the caller. Jeffrey.
He had a motion. He had a motion.
Sir.
Hold on. Ask the caller. You know what I love with Jamaican? They like to lobby for people. They like. That's not the point. What is on the return sheet of CIBC? How much of it is paid to you in your account? Because one of the other things you talk about is 16% every year for your money, where you have in any of these financial institutions. It has not jumped, it has not increased. The Jamaican people get robbed. How are the dividends being shared with you as a faithful? That is why I tell you, Jeffrey, people must return to the PC banks and to their credit corporate union, because we like to sell this rosy picture. CIBC is a Canadian-based bank who takes the return of Jamaica, Jamaican heart. Tell me how much time you see CIBC invest in a community. As bad as you know want to talk about NCB, as bad as NCB, and while I'll stay with it, I believe their foundation does a lot for Jamaica. But if Mr. Leachin could get it right, because I am not going to bank in a financial institution that pays out his money overseas and the dividends is not given to me, the ordinary Jamaican. And when you look at the loan portfolio and the increase,
your personal opinion, you know, that is
man. I'm respect your one. I'm gonna hope them get a nice commission. God know, cause me love it. Me love how you defend them, but just look where the money go back. How much have it invested to build Jamaica?
Just give me a chance. You alone can't talk, brother. You say your point, and I'm saying to you that is your personal opinion and you're entitled to it. What I am saying and telling the people is to go and take your money out of NC. Don't watch the scholarship you give. Yes, NCB might give more scholarship than CIBC.
Sir, let me ask you this question, sir. And suppose if you some people take advice now and take the money out of NCB and CIBC.
No, they don't have to go CIBC.
Hold on now. And some shit man go and start a CIBC. We don't tell you. Put your exposure to.
Well, you have options. Because what I'm saying is, I live in Jamaica here, and I think my learned friend here was asking me to live in Jamaica as well. And if you notice, isn't CIB is NCB is the problem, the culprit in this situation that people losing their money, you know. So what I'm suggesting to people, do a bank run, take your money out of NCB and put in other banks. You don't have to see at NCB. You don't have to come at CIBC. You have Scotia, you have Den, you have some different banks now.
First Global, CIBC, Scotia, JN.
Don't have the money sit there and saying that NCB gives scholarship and them do more and them do this.
No, sir, again, you said that is a person. I'm going to support a bank, will support my people. I just that me I say, me now fight you down, you know, me I say to you, say, I hope when you look on the annual return, and how much go back to Canada, and how much we get for do any
but at the same time, you have to watch the service you're getting, you know, and the protection.
So why you never say them could have carried the money? All right, Carla, why you could have said them could have carried the money at the credit union?
Deposit, security insurance, deposit insurance scheme. I think it's $500,000 or $1 million. Guaranteed.
For what?
Anything
for what?
Deposit insurance. It's a deposit insurance scheme. I think that it is run by the FI.
But Carla, so why you Carla?
But the security deposit insurance is $1 million. What about Luke, who have $10 million in the bank, Carla? How does Luke get back in?
It's not 10, it's $1 trillion.
It's $1 trillion.
Well, I tell you, the man should get back every penny.
Exactly. Yeah. So the point of the matter is this. The point of the matter is this, Carla. You should know this. Whenever you put your money in a financial institution, in a bank, in a depository account, that bank buy insurance and your money, that if they go under, they will get back their money. But what about you, the depositor?
That's right, and I agree with you.
So I asked them Garfield why they not support the credit union.
Why? Okay, and with the credit union, you are individual owners. You are a shareholder in the credit union. So the dividend is spread against every shareholder in the credit union. The fact of the matter.
And
we need
that's
to
what
do.
they should do. That's where they should take the money out of CIB, you hear me,
And
NCC.
put it in the credit union, not in the CIBC.
And they have them want to take to CIBC, them take to the CIBC too. And put in the credit
Yeah,
union.
man, Maria, yeah, that you must have option, but look for the profit margin, how much we get and how much them take.
If I may, please, if I may. You see, a lot of talk about crime and corruption, but I am under the impression that the laws need to be changed and enforced, starting with the Constitution come down. Because if you don't care who you put in, don't care who you vote out, if you vote out JLP and vote in PNP or UIC or MDM, or if the laws are not changed and enforced, we will always have this problem.
Brilliant
The laws
point.
must
Brilliant
respect
point.
a just society, and people must be held accountable and start going to prison.
And take it Carla, take it a step further. We must ensure that within our own home, we have a standard by which we all operate. So before we enforce the law, we start. You ever hear them say, learn to dance yard before you learn to dance abroad? We must have double standard and expect the young people to believe in what we say. I agree with you though at the constitution level that ordinary people must sit down and them not use no big language, because earlier, my sister said, the discussion said, people don't even know them rights. Where do you go and see the charter right post up in every government agency telling a citizen, these are your rights? Just those fundamental one, Garfield. Because if you read the document, the old language might be off-putting, and the translation for the ordinary man would require them to have a dictionary. And it tells me now that Jeffrey Tavares is to take this program and one night use it as the Constitution Information Forum, where we go chapter by chapter and somebody dissect it and go through it. But in terms of Garfield, just the fact that anybody in the United States, in Canada, probably can, and in the UK, I don't know, you can walk into a building and you say, these are your fundamental rights as a citizen of the country. The right to life, the right to this, the right to... Where do you walk in a government institution, in a democratic country, as Jeffrey used like to say, and say the charter right put up by the government of Jamaica? Even that them hide from us. So the citizen never will ever learn this right. It is this forum and forum like this that is, of the mandate now to make sure, say, we put it out there, and we must develop a Met We Talk app that every day, do you know as a citizen that this is your right and this is what it means? So people know, and you do look at diamond performance, because remember, I know everybody can read. Some are a tactile learner, some are a visual learner. So people can say, officer, I heard, and it fall under this chapter of the Constitution, that I have this right and you're violating that right.
Well, to that, Luke, if you notice, in Jamaica, that has been going on in Jamaica today, especially in law enforcement in vehicular traffic and enforcing the traffic laws in Jamaica. But if you look at some YouTube videos, there are people who police has been stopped because there's a lot. And again, probably what we need, Luke, is to start in certain departments. And we probably could start with the police, with a retired police officer from a rank of, a rank.
Garfield, the charter of right must be in every school, from basic, infant, secondary. Every pitney must learn it like how them learn the Vibe Cartel song. That's a fear right.
Hold on there for me. I want you to listen to something here that I just got. Hold on there. Lord. Hold on there.
Sagicor employees accused in $65 million fraud to appear in court. The four Sagicor employees, including one whose employment has been terminated, who have been accused in an alleged $65 million fraud that was uncovered at the bank late last year, are scheduled to appear in court on Tuesday. They are Tricia Moulton, manager at Sagicor's LaGuardia branch, her sister Alicia Moulton White, former Sagicor Group vice president, personal banker Malika McLeod, and 26-year-old client care officer Tishan Samuels, who was the last to be hit with charges this month. Samuels was charged with larceny as a servant, conspiracy to defraud and access with intent to commit or facilitate the commission of an offense under the cybercrimes law. She was picked up by members of the fraud squad at Sagicor's New Kingston headquarters on February 9th and slapped with the charges after an interview in the presence of her attorney. She was offered station bail in the sum of $1 million. Moulton White, who was separated from Sagicor on December 31st, has been charged with conspiracy to defraud, receiving stolen property, unlawfully making available data or device for the commission of an offense, and engaging in a transaction that involved a criminal offense. Her attorney, Bert Samuels, has insisted that the charges relate specifically to $661,000 and has said she is innocent. Tricia Moulton, 42, and McLeod, also 42, were charged with the offenses of conspiracy to defraud, access with intent to commit or facilitate an offense, unlawfully making available device or data for the commission of an offense, computer-related fraud, breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act, and larceny as a servant. The allegations are that between August 2022 and October 2022, Moulton and McLeod, in their capacities as manager and personal banker, respectively, conspired and defrauded about 6 Sagicor customers' U.S. currency accounts of an undetermined sum of money. While Moulton White was separated from the bank, the others are reportedly on suspension.
Now tell me something now. Don't you all realize that nobody money is safe anywhere?
Again, I'm saying that we have not gotten those reports out of the credit union. We have not gotten it out of some of the major investors. So I wouldn't say that. And to be fair, we need to return. We need to advise people. If we're going to give people good advice, we have never really heard a major scandal coming out of the credit union. And we have never had one coming out of Mayberry, Barita, GMB so far, and Sagicor. So I wouldn't say it's fair. As the caller did say to me a while ago, which is rightfully so, that we need to look as a people, since we are the watchdog, we need to be advising people where maybe they can possibly invest their money with less risk of that. But we have seen in the commercial bank, some banks more than others have a good PR who don't get the information out there, but it's happening. And here is a similar situation to the NCB employers that were taking monies out of people's account and transferring them into a dummy account, not really dummy, an account that them set up, which we call dummy, and enriching themselves. And I believe that is cultivated from the fact that when you look on where the big people them get in weird separation compared to where the worker them get, people just get wicked vicious that they are them working hard but them not being compensated. It's not a good motivation.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the Make It Talk program.
Yes, Mother always. Yeah. My little 1 cent on this thing. As a Jamaican, born and bred, never travel. This thing in the bank system is an organized crime in the highest place you can put it. You know why? Then come in with a law say you mustn't have X amount of money in your yard. Police can lock you up and charge you for it. We can come in with the handline for them thief you. Because guess what? You see this handline bank machine with this card, people can just take off your card, no man do anything with it. Persons don't understand it, right? You can't tell a person how much money to keep in yard. One thing can get called for your money. We Jamaican people, we save in a silver, we throw a partner, and that's how we get full money. You tell me if we can, we money can give you. For you collect the bank, you collect the deposit, you collect everything. No, this is this you call organized crime at the highest by these people who feel like them come from the Vumpa bar and the Vumpa V and them have PhD and them have XXD and them have all a degree, 90 degree, 40 degree, and we went on a sense pick rock people. You know, we think them on the whole, they go to your head, that thief, all of them, criminal them. If you sit down and pencil out the good, why you want to tell me now, me to my partner, and me get my 100,000, me put it down. Me throw my partner again. Me get my 50,000. Me put it down and I feel like to put that up on. You tell me if you can, me money come give. Fi mind you. You mind me? Or when if you pay you to keep my money?
Jeffrey.
When pay you to keep my money?
Carla, I hear you. Makes a lot of sense.
Hold on for me, Carla. You know something? What you just said is we may be laughing, but it's a fact truth.
Yes.
One of our panelists here have a question for you. Garfield?
Yes. Carla, good night. You know, and that is why
good night.
We're in Jamaica. You live in what constituency? You ever hear they talk about the technocrats in these ministries? The technocrats.
Yeah, man.
Them use the word technocrats.
Me use the big one.
Okay, so the technocrats are the one who hire the lobbyists, and the lobbyists are the ones who lead the technocrats and tell them what type of thing they need to bring on stream. And this is what you need to ask your member of parliament and your councillors. Who are the lobbyists? And this is something that we, as a Jamaican, especially who live in Jamaica, could go to Garden House and bring a bill to the floor to state that we know that there are lobbyists in Jamaica, and we need to know our lobbyists registered with the government of Jamaica to make sure we understand what type of people they are lobbying for, what group they are lobbying on, because these are the people who, these MPs, both sides of the fence, whether independent or not, them don't come up with no ideas to make no law in a look. It's the technocrats through their lobbyists is telling them, now is the time to draft this bill. So people must understand that people believe that Mark Golden or Andrew Holness is the most brilliant people on the face of the earth. In Jamaica, that's not the case. They use technocrats and lobbyists to create bills, to make sure when that bill is created, the taxpayers of Jamaica pay for it because it's a new entity coming on stream. When you talk about they are building police stations and Garden House and they are renovating park, it's the technocrats go out and create this so money can go back into the coffers of certain people within the society. So these are the questions we need to know.
Yeah. You have anything more to say, Carla?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, Jeffrey, I grade 6 with my school. But me listen, people, we grew up on Nigeria, which we turn down now. Not even listening to it. But me grew up on Dongle. When me grow like a orphan in a certain sense. Only thing we can tell that we never get raped. But me grow with the newspaper. Things where the newspaper and the media learn me. Me never get to school. But by growing up and listening, I listen to people, to different set of people, lawyers, teachers, profession, and me put one and learn. Listen, you know, this thing coming like some people who say them are financial controllers in some factory or institution. They are like the owner would have given $500,000 or $1,000 word speaking. And if he used it, the money, and if he use it and everything done, and he save back 200,000, he or she get paid. But he uses the worker and taking on the neck and get the same amount of work because people can do better. And then he continue to save because if he go over the money, he ain't a problem. So he use less money to get more work, pressure people, the poor, the lower class people, and save the money, and then at the end of the year or in the whichever, he get a bonus, so he get more than fee pay, and you were do the work physically and mentally, get sucked, and people don't see that in our business. Me, no gone to university, but me read and worse from big phone come, me typing everything, and when they talk one word, we don't know, me typing in it and see where what mean. Jamaica people have to wake up and have sense. Those of you who can read your grand niece and everywhere got school up. Make them teach you. Tap bank your money. Me not tell you if you put it, but tap bank money. Because when you're banking money, you're paying people to teach you. And nobody can teach me. In the corner walk, as they say, pay run. We dry out fruits. In that you have dollar left in there, me no response. Sometimes mix it.
You remind me of a lady that I know very well. She's like a mother to me. She will call me up here and say, Jeffrey, I drank out all of my money, you know. I'm like, no. She was like, no, I take it out.
I did have an account that ends CB. Yes. And I don't know. For some reason, me just feel like tap bank with them. The other day, we said, you know, say me about my NCB account, because me have one son where sometimes I NCB use and sometimes I said one thing come give me. He must say no, that's NCB. And me I said, boy, me not go back there, you know. 13 hours them I sit there and start come up now. And one day me call him, me said, he said, you remember what me tell you? He draw out him money and left $5,000 in there. And when he check back the 5,000 gone, my grandson have $2,500. Imagine only to pick me up $2,500 and the 2,500 gone. Out of NCB. Me just dash right card. So me can tell every Jamaican, every poor Jamaican, take out your money out of the bank then. You can try the credit union, but the rest of them, you can't pay people to kill you. Talk it true. You're going to know say dog bite you, I'm going to make dog bite you. Me pay you to live in a big life. And you, oh God, Jeffrey and Nippon, looking at this now. Use a little higgler, domestic worker, security officer, or whatever. And you say, right now, what's your money? And you have to pay your fee keep it, pay your fee thief me, pay your fee put in your bank, pay your fee dry. You what? You what? No, common sense. This no need no PhD and no FD and whatever, doctor, whatever. Common sense teach you that. When you was a child and you bank your money at bank, you get a little incentive money. They tell us if you under that deposit, you get money. No, you have to pay everybody. What is this? What kind of demon come down from Jamaica? Then where is our future? You have a child who are 15, 18, a turn big man and woman now. Where is their future? The bank a thief, church a thief, police a thief, government that everybody turn thief. Then when they done, they lock up poor people and thief, and them are the biggest scammer. Almighty God, what is this? Do I Jamaica gone to? Eh? All right, thanks.
Bye, mommy.
Okay, darling, okay.
Thank you very much for calling in.
All right, thanks.
The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. Good night. Welcome to Make We Talk.
Good night, Mr. Tavares.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, and I have a little cold. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm not rusty in the voice.
We're here.
To all your panel.
All in the parliament here. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. To all your panel, thank you for bringing this whole issue to bear. It's very current. Yeah. I was a person who called, just to put a little preamble to it. I was a person who called and talked about the trade unions to Mr. Cook and yourself when Mr. Rattigan was on the program a few days or a week ago. Good. Now, I want to throw a wrench into the situation, and I'm going somewhere. Now, the trade, first of all, you remember I spoke of trade unions. Are you aware, Mr. Tavares, that the credit union is also a part or a branch of the trade union?
No, I wasn't aware of that. Luke, were you?
The credit union.
Continue.
Okay, so it was workers are organized, and it was a union that got them to put their funds together so they could all benefit through the companies they work for. Let's say. But why I'm bringing this up is the wrench I'm throwing in is that we inherited a form of governance and way of valuing money and our efforts in the form of capitalism. We all bought capitalism, lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. It was sold to us by both the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party.
So no better hearing.
I would not say that it's a wrench I'm throwing in, but I'd like everyone to know that it's a basic fundamental that they both come from, capitalism. In fact, bear with me. In fact, going back further, we are all descendants of slaves, and we have not even gotten the benefit of being in a feudal manor system, which is a system that Europe had when it was back in the 15th century, where the king became the feudal manor lord over everyone who was a peasant in his kingdom. He looked after them. Fast forward to slavery. We were actually brought into the plantation under stringent, extreme, barbaric conditions. And we got the overspill of the capital of our work in the slightest form, in the terms of a roof over our head, food on our table, under the basic Maslow hierarchy of needs, the very bottom level of that pyramid. Now, fast forward to today, 1938, when we got our independence, our universal suffrage. We now inherit this thing that's called capitalism. Best forms of it are in Europe, North America in general, and Japan, those industrialized countries. Jamaica has gotten the worst form of capitalism that we could have gotten, and with it, the worst form of financial support. There is nothing for the poor. There is nothing on either side, JLP or PNP, in terms of social structures developed, much less a willing government who is willing to protect the citizens once they have been shafted through capitalism. It's a wrench I'm throwing into the program, Mr. Tavares.
Yes, sir, thank you.
We do not know anything other than capitalism and, let's say, what they call communism, which has been so ostracized to the nether regions. Much less, there's no talk of Marxism, which is something that brought unions together and protected workers and citizens more.
Yeah.
And now today, we have SSL, and we have all of these banks running unregulated, worse than they are in the United States, which is supposed to have a better form of capitalism, which we absolutely do not have the same form of. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Everyone, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, but thank you. But Carla, before you go, the banks are not unregulated
Yes,
in Jamaica, so if we know that. The banks are regulated in Jamaica, but the regulation that governs the bank in Jamaica give the power to the bankers themselves and not to the people. And again, if the government of the day, whether it's the GLP or the PMP, bring a bill to the House to change the regulation, it's going to affect the political donations. So they can't do it.
All right,
Yeah.
you know, I can
Go ahead, sir. You have a minute. Go ahead, sir. You have a minute, sir.
I can hardly hear you because the phone cracks up and I've turned off my computer. But here's the thing I'd like to even throw in further. I'd like to throw in something further. If you really allow yourself to think widely, there are some countries that are using variants and hybrids of both capitalism, Marxism, and communism to protect its citizenry. And we are not yet at a mature enough level to know and acknowledge that these forms of government do exist and that they can be combined to bring out the best in us. There is no level of maturity, one, and two, no willingness in any of the two forms of government to even consider assimilation of all the types together for the benefit of the old, the young, those who need protection.
Carla.
Thank you.
Carla,
Okay.
would you support a model of each?
Go ahead, Luke. Ask the question.
No, Jeffrey. One of the things that I think somebody said it. If the credit union was brought on, that the banking regulation. No, I don't think they are fully on it. I think they have some. They are given some specific. Each of them in the financial services are given some special regulation clause that they can operate. But Jeffrey, what I really honestly think is that if you can establish a credit union in every constituency and it is managed by the people, because one of the good things about credit union, before they were undermining people who never started out with the credit union. I was just reading the history, a quick history of COK, when it started, and it started with 13 members. But it gives people a greater accountability to how their monies are being invested and managed. And I think at the constituency level, that's what you need to create, because the commercial bank have become a capitalist of the worst kind. And I mean, for a man to lose his life saving and to be given a fraction of that, and then to have him sign a clause against taking out any lawsuit against it, I don't even know how I'm going to walk that back. But I would like a shrewd lawyer in Jamaica to take on that case and to take NCB or the Public Defender's Office. Somebody said the Public Defender's Office is no longer in existence. I'm not even sure that person. I know the Ombudsman's Office was gutted and we sat quietly and watched it go by, but that's a political ombudsman. But we need a financial ombudsman who must now take on matters of how the people report, but give the people back the power by creating institutions within the community frame where them can walk go there every day if them care to ask out their money. And I have not heard any bad report coming out of the PC Bank. And so I am going to give those people credit for whatever they have done. They have remained faithful to the people.
Yes. For those who want to talk,
I need to say something.
go ahead.
It's kind of just puzzling to me when I remember the caller says that when he went to the bank to take out an account, they asked him for social security, right? He's living in the US, right? So I need to find this out. So if some of the banks are regulated by foreign in or whatever, foreign lobbies or whatever, how is it that the system that they want to implement in Jamaica is not the same system that is implemented here? But yes, it is regularly, because when you open an account here in the States, yes, they're gonna ask you for your social, right? It doesn't matter if you have $1 million in the bank, right? As long as you have an active, you're working, your money is going into the bank, then it's fine. You can open an account, right?
Yes.
So when you go to Jamaica and you open an account, why are they asking you for a social, for your social?
But that is not the.
Why do they want to know if you have money coming in and out of the bank?
No, but that is not a Jamaican regulation. It's part of the international monetary policy.
What I was told, hold on for me. What I was told that the Department of Justice, the Department of whatever in the United States, didn't give the authority to the Jamaican banks to do that.
No, they did not. That's what I'm saying. Somebody is lying to these people.
No, they did. No, they did because of fucker. They did because of fucker. But I think
what is fucker?
Fucker, it's
have a old lady waiting on the line. Just
right now.
No, just let him tell her what fucker is.
Yes.
Actually, it's a federal entity. Hold on there. Finger slow.
Hold on for me, please.
Slow up on the typing.
Okay, let the lady talk. Let me Google what a fucker is.
Caller, you're still there with us?
Hello?
Federal Advisory Committee Act.
Okay.
Right.
Caller, go ahead.
You guys, so a question. The British Virgin.
Hold on for me, caller. Hold on for me. Go ahead for me.
Yeah, the British Virgin Island. It England overseas or something like that, or operate.
It's a British overseas territory.
Repeat that again.
Oh, so it operate by England. Yes, they operate by England.
Yes.
All right. So the same thing will apply to people who live in the UK. Apply to them.
In some circumstances, I don't quote me on that. I don't really know. I think they have their own laws in a sense.
Yeah.
But Britain have a governor there to help them. Just like the Cayman Islands.
Right.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that Jamaica return back to England. People are say slavery. And slavery, yes, as Marcus Garvey said, if we don't know where I come from, it's like a tree without root. But listen me, my little reading about slavery, yes, it was hard, because people was physically abused and murdered. But in Jamaica, no. It is slavery and slavery at the highest. The only difference then and now is that nobody not physically eating the people eating us with back for our back to bleed. But what is happening? What are we thinking of? Yeah. We are living in slavery. The number one slavery house is the hotel them. That are two, that are one. The second one is the security industry. The third one, as only people say them have laundry place are clean, and you go there, go look and say, yeah, janitor, you've been used. That is slavery. You have a security work 50, 35 years, one company, and when he left, he can't buy chicken back and get gunshot, he walk and drop, he losing limb, nothing. This is slavery. Now you work and put your money. Imagine. The Bible says a person's life is 70, and by reason of strength you go further. And a man live to 105 years old and saving $6 million. And when it depends nothing, and you know here no Prime Minister, Governor General, opposition, this a man, Tara man, this a woman, Tara woman from all different. No come out can't say nothing. What is this? This is on the Bumba and the Bimba V. This is a direct dictatorship. Now, if this continue, you soon have to ask permission to go to the road. You have to go ask permission to use the bathroom. Them will give you a limited amount of water. You have to go make sure that the amount of water they keep you. You have to go ask them how much chicken back to buy, and when you buy your part up, you say Monday this, Tuesday that. This is what we're going through. God mighty people want to wake up and see what happened. You just want to say, oh, your child is not eligible to take CXC because of what him status. So the CXC will be only to kids that have certain amount. That is what we're going to. Young people, it sounds funny. And because we can use the big word them. But at that it go. You can have a country and a road where people life saving just gone. So you have the people that are working as slave. Look on taxi fare. Look on the minimum wages. Come on, people. Make me wake up and live. You see, if me now I'm 20 years younger, I would be the Jamaica Rose Parker. I would start it. But I know I would have fallen. But it would have fallen for a purpose. We need to wake up and live. Wake up and see what's happening. In the next 20 years, and the same, what will happen to we? We're going to come like a King Unjan. King Unjan will go over we. So we have to do what him say, or die. No, this can't work.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where do you see your country going? Do you see Jamaica as a 2030 vision to live, work, and raise family?
I see Jamaica as a 2030 vision with some body bag. With some body bag and some prison them worse than anything else. Jamaican 2030 vision is to become a dictatorship where your freedom of speech and movement will be taken away. You will be limited to certain education. You now go have no school where you can go to school again as you have a like. And you now go have no church where you can go as you have a like. Because if you not sing that the man the song, you're not going to get to go in church. You're not going to have no doctor to come out of poor community again. You're not going to have no nurse, no teacher come out of poor community. You have to be boom for like back then. If you're not brown, you couldn't get a bank teller work or a postmistress work. Or those work was upscale work. And if you're not brown, you know, becomes a teacher. Those are the things that are happening. And those are the things that are going to happen back again. So if Jamaica not wake up and see what happened, because the first thing I believe in our country, you should take care of the kids and the old people. And you must give young people future. When Mr. Holness was winning, they said it was young people time. And all of them in the whole and tough and grey. And they sit down in there now come out. And the example where them are set to younger people in my university. When them come out, can scam. That's why they open scamming, you know. And they have one sitting up there with them at when me hear about me never true, because me never go there. Say you call it, then call it what? Like a chopping, but you have to can block one code and them listen the lead up to scamming. Them listen the lead up to scamming.
Chop the line.
Yeah. Yeah, chop. Yeah.
Where you said that some all of them are what?
I'm grey with them tough back. I'm talking about young people time. They force the teacher them and not only the teacher, they call them, help me with the car. Civil servant them back then, a couple of years ago, me call someone that come out and say, people, civil servant, they call them, we take early, what? Redundant, to go home early at 50 to retirement at 52. But them in there yet had. Then someone pampas, some of them in there wear pampas, them buy get bigger, most pampas they have on. Right? And then I tell them, say, you must take a early retirement. Why them must take early retirement? And what they know, say, Jamaica can change, you know. Jamaica can change and change for the better. But what happened? Me have secret for you have secret for me. So that is the reason why, because if they never have secret for them one another, certain man and woman when at the parliament and certain part of work, they would not in there, but guess what? The driver can't talk to him. Because me a conduct, yes sir. Now yes sir, me a kind of put me up, yes sir. Me a go bus round, yes sir. So you have to suck up everything. And sorry to say, the vision where I believe this Prime Minister come in with, him not have it because what everybody has secret with everybody in there. You cannot, just like some woman we have some picnic, you can't talk to them because in do things and make a picnic see, so a picnic a secret film, so if you talk to him, you go tell the father say me with around so that happen in parliament. So when parliament becomes a clown show. Because some people in the way have no integrity, their name no good, their name call up all parts of it's alleged. But at least it's alleged. Once your name call, we have to go investigate you publicly and say, okay, it was alleged that one, so but after investigation and this come down, we find say he or she, it was a lie. So it can go. But not have them sitting up, brother. But they hinder and they name a call. What kind of example them I said? If me, I'm a female and I have 2 daughters where I birth and I grow them up. And every night they see me carry 2 and 3 man. You think me can't tell them the girl they said, and I said, that was my mom used to do. So I take it from my mom. If them see me get up and go work, and I work honestly, I have one man, they will take the example from me. And if them come and go and take the whole heap of man, hear them, boy, and the moment me see it with you, I mean, do myself. But what happening in Jamaica, panel and the world, some of them people we up in the diaspora, we attack. You don't need to come at Jamaica and left the money up there and come with that limited and come see where we are go through. You work and you get pay and you have to take pen and paper to buy. To buy just to sustain. You can't buy no nutritious. Imagine you can't buy a cornflakes. A little cornflakes you can't buy. Me not tell a lie about 5-6 years now. Me no need a piece of oxtail. Me don't know what it look like. Because me can't buy oxtail. And that is a fact. So when they open America start yes. Yes, for them and their friend and their crony, but not for the majority people. And me telling you, a person wearing my shoes and thing we vote for this man. It is like a dog to vomit and a hog to walla. Not saying you want the administration to come feed you. What we ask you for is to make life look much easier. When we work, that's what we work for. We can save with money. We can go on party. We can take a vacation. And we know so we have little money. Save for doctor bill. I have to put that tonight. That is what we ask you for. Give it good word. If I mean, live on partner in a rural Jamaica, and if taxi, if we let, where you calling from, Senton. And if they catch me a road, they have to pay $600 to go home because taxi man will tell us, guess what? When me go up, me live down here, so, and when me go up, me not get no passenger to come back. So we have to make sure so no can pay me because the man that gas go up. I come back. I can't blame him. And I like my tell. And the road bad. Pay a patrol. So wear and tear, take my money. You have to stay with him. You have to stay with him. Now again, the man raise taxi fare with you. You will not. So they don't forget pay. What we will pay taxi? Where free money go? Where you go? Me and my little boy go to school. Me have to find $1,500 Jamaican per day to give him in daddy dead. $1,500 per day me have to find to give him. When we give him $1,200 or $1,000, it's only because you train him to know say what. Sometimes coffee, sometimes tea. Jamaica people, we are suffer and we are not lazy. We're willing to work, but work for what? That is it. We're willing to work. Jamaica people are hard working people. You'll find a few ways where you know you go already. They're all over the world. What we willing to work, but work for what, Jeffrey? Jeffrey Van Eyck diaspora, we dead. The other day, me get two sneakers. Our friend, me see look bad, look boy, show me call him and me say, "Roop strap," and he say, "All right. If me see somebody I come, me send one for you." And he said, "2." God bless him. God bless him. Jeffrey, he hard.
All right.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I need to go back
Yeah.
to Garfield and this fucker thing. What is about fucker now, Garfield?
Jeffrey,
Okay.
Tanya was asking a
It's actually
question
FACTA.
about the requirements to open account in Jamaica.
Hold on.
Right?
Hold on. Go ahead for me, caller. Are you hearing the caller?
Yes. Tanya was asking a question about the requirements to open an account in Jamaica. If you're a Jamaican, all you need is your birth certificate. Somebody might ask you for a passport,
And your
right?
TRN number.
And your TRN number, of course. They were asking originally for two references, one from a JP and one from a pastor. That was discontinued 2 weeks ago. But what they are doing now, if you come from the United States or Canada or England and you come out there, they're telling you you must get them the TRN number. When you ask them, somebody will tell you, oh, because of the high scamming. Lie! Because they say,
Social security number.
yeah, the Social Security are telling you, oh, because of the high scamming, the US is requiring it. Lie, nothing will go so.
That's a lie.
Because what they want to do, they will secretly, if you try to apply for a loan now, they will tell you, they only need it. Only the next thing to tell you, they call and start questioning about your consumer report. Right? So the requirements down there is standard. Right? They will tell you, right? For example, if you go some of the document might just have your initial of your middle name. One document might spell out your middle name. They have to go through 4 different people to verify. Then if you open an account like 10, 15, 20 years ago, they'll come up with something new the other day and tell you that you have to verify your income. I said, but the account was one from 1986, 1988, 1990. No, they said, no, I'm not verifying my no income. You did not ask me 20 years ago or 15 years ago. You said, oh, that's what the government and the United States require. They don't verify your income. No such thing. They'll tell you all type of rigmarole. To me, the banks do not want more customers. I don't think they need more customers. So they tell you all type of things that turn you off. The only reason they are interested in you is when they find a way to ask you, so how much money you want to open the account with. That's right. And if you tell them the amount now, then they create at different circumstances. They find out people will say, okay, we'll do it for you. You know, so the world banking system need a complete overall. I don't think nobody's paying attention to it. Think of the old man who look about the ATM card.
Can you have a question for you?
Go ahead.
I think they're telling the people a bunch of lies because information to the people is kind of limited. There is nowhere on Google have any affiliation of Jamaica banking system and FACA. Whoever or whatever this FACA is. Nowhere on Google you can find that.
So Tanya, it's the Foreign Account Tax Compliant Act. What that simply means that if you are a U.S. citizen or a green card holder and you are doing business outside of Jamaica, the U.S. government wants that authority to report to them what is your bankroll.
Okay.
So what you want in Jamaica? Because, for example, a lot of us who like seniors, they may have properties in Jamaica, right? And they are getting Social Security in the United States. Uncle Sam want to know what your assets are outside of Jamaica. But in reference to that,
yeah, but not so much your asset. This is more concerned about earnings. Because if you're an American citizen, if you're an American citizen earning money in Jamaica, it is subject to U.S. taxes.
For tax purposes. But
yes, for tax purposes. It's not so much to evaluate your assets.
Right, for tax purposes.
They use your bank in Jamaica because by right, as he rightly pointed out, right, it was an agreement 4 or 5 years ago from the Bank of Jamaica to the banks that they have to report overseas accounts with in excess of certain amounts. It wasn't just any account. I think I don't remember the exact figure. I think it was over $1 million. It has to be reported to the US. If you are a US citizen. So that was not meant for it was for earnings for tax purposes.
Correct.
Yeah.
But uncle, and funny enough, all of this was come into law under the great Barack Obama.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up now.
All right, folks, it was good. It was good. It was
Let
good.
me finish. We're gonna say goodbye now. I want to thank your Tanya, your closing remarks.
Well, all I have to say, and I've been saying it for a while now, the people need to really educate themselves about the system in Jamaica, because if you don't really know, if you don't know the law, you don't know your rights, then you're always gonna be a puppet. Where Jamaica is heading right now, like my sister say, infrastructure is pretty, but the people are hungry. You understand? It's like me see this big highway where them put up, and you hardly see no vehicle on it, you hardly see no truck or drive on it. So who is bringing in the money? You understand? So one side of Jamaica is for the rich and the glamorous, and the other side is for the poor and the dying. At the end of the day, the people have to know what they really want. You understand?
Yes.
So we spend so many time, years, days, minutes, hours talking about what is really going on in Jamaica, but at the end of the day, there is no solution. You understand? It's hard for us to really come up with plans and how to really bring the country together and for people to have a future, because right now Jamaica is dying. I don't care what people say. Hey, I don't care what people say about the government is doing this and the government is doing that. Yes, it is your job to do that. I'm not going to kiss your ass to repair road or to fix the road or to build a road. You understand? Because you're in there to work for me. So I shouldn't be kissing your ass. But at the end of the day, I have to think about me. I have to think about my family. I have to think about my future, generational wealth, all of that. And those things are very essential and they're very important. And that is what the typical Jamaican should be looking at, especially people who is in middle class, lower class. I'm not going to say poor or duns.
There's no middle class in
really
Jamaica anymore.
You understand? So we have a lot. We have a lot to look at. We have a lot to work on. And we just have to come together as people and just try to flush out corruption in any way that we can. Because the government, they're beating us. I mean, the politician, because them say the people are the government. But the politician, they are really beating us. They're taking us for a ride. They look at us as idiots. They don't respect us. Nothing like that. They're not working for us. So where do that leave us? By ourselves.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Thank you. Action Jamaica Now. Action Now Jamaica. I know you're late because we're wrapping up to come off here now, you know. But I wanted to say something to us. What do you think about what is going on now in Jamaica? 33 people murdered in the start of the year. What is your views on that? Because we're going to have to wrap up now. I got to go. I'm going to get my head cut off if I don't want to
leave the show to Garfield. Let Garfield continue.
Well, I would expect that it's going to be business as usual, right? But the Jamaican people need to understand. When I say Jamaicans, I mean both at home and abroad. It can't be business as usual, because business as usual is going to result in the same thing that we have been getting over the years, right? So we're going to end the year with this high murder rate, and it's going to be, a cycle of it's going to be a cycle until the people decide to hear what. This is not working out. We have to now unite, very, very important. And that is why I would love for all I would love to see a social media alliance. I would love to see a social media alliance so that we can have a better form of communication network, right? So all the bloggers, all the well-wishing and well-thinking Jamaicans who, have platforms like yours, Mr. Tavares, can unify all efforts around social media and pull in the Jamaicans at home and abroad who desire this change, right? Because yes, we see the things happening, right? And we are very vocal about it. But we need to move past the vocal stage and start now to physically act, right?
Yeah.
That is the next step we need to take. Physical action, right? Because we are aware as to the many things that are happening. So we now need to take action in the spaces and the places that we are, in the various capacities that we hold. We have to start taking actions. We have made our voices heard, but now is action time.
Well, I 100% agree with you, Action Jamaica. And one of the way that we can make our voices heard is basically by literally pooling resources together. We need money, financing. We need to go into Jamaica. We need to adopt certain institutions. We need to adopt certain facilities and improve on these facilities. We don't need to go into Jamaica to open an organization to fund this, but if we go in sectors by sectors, we can create change, sectors by sectors. We don't need to go to Jamaica and keep a party and keep a big time eating. Go into small sectors where you can impact a particular community. And I just want to give most kudos to Popcorn. I am not somebody a fan of his music, but what I've seen he has done in St. Thomas by literal, I don't know if he were told to do some community service out of his behavior from that situation, but what he has done, he has basically bring tractors, put people together, human infrastructure, human power to clean the drains in St. Thomas in his area. And the good thing I like about that, I never see one politician there, whether they are JLP or PMP. I saw the people, and that is what we need to do. And that is how we can get things moving, get things rolling, and the whole. And we just need to do it sectors by sectors. That's all we need to do, and we will make Jamaica a better place.
I agree with you.
Action Jamaica, just say final word because we need to wrap up. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I agree with you, and I hope that Popcorn is setting the stage for the various entertainers to use their resources and their time to create change in the various communities that they love. You understand? So that's pretty much it. We need to pool our resources together, physically, financially, and make things happen.
Yes. And Action Jamaica now. What we need to do, you said something earlier on that people on social media, all of us need to come together. And that's one of the reasons why I extended my arm to you. Because it doesn't make any sense for us to be talking about the same thing. Some of us are talking about the same thing. Some of us are literally there because we have a political agenda. I don't have a political agenda. My game back smash up from the day I was born. I can't go in a 7 or 11. Until I see a government of Jamaica for Jamaica, a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, then I will make a stand. Then I will say, okay, this is where I'm going to go. But from 1932 until now, we've been swapping black dog for monkey in this country. PNP, JLP, JLP, PNP, PNP, JLP, JLP, PNP, PNP, JLP. And the time has come for all of us to stand up and call a spade a spade. I'm not saying that some of them don't do something good. I'm not saying that PNP don't do something good. I'm not saying JLP don't do something good. But my God, we are 61 years old. And the people of St. Elizabeth don't have no water in their pipe. And yet they're saying that it's a breadbasket parish. Some people in Negril, the tourist capital of Jamaica, don't have water in their pipe either.
Oh my God.
Huh? Look, I have something to show before I go. I need to go because I need to wrap up. Look at this, what I saw today.
How much you pay?
I pay like 10,000 a month.
10,000 a month.
Yeah,
my community right there.
Hold on.
Yes. No, you think we can hold it more private?
So who they pay the market fees?
I collect market fees.
About how many vendors you have in the market?
listen, no, average must, okay, on a permanent basis, we might have like 50 permanent people.
All of the vendors, them on the road.
No, sir.
Yeah, man.
No. You can't look around the summer.
Them in the vendors, them in there. And this is not the only market in Westmoreland that a lease agreement has been given without the ministry's approval and involvement on it. I can't see how a market like this can be literally given away. I want to commend Mr. Williams, who apparently has not been told the truth by the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. But I want to commend him because he has demonstrated a certain level of leadership in terms of what he's doing, and I'm giving him the assurance that we will not do anything that will prejudice his position. We will deal with this matter. It has to be dealt with because there is no way any responsible mayor and administration can take up what belongs to the taxpayers and just literally give it away without.
Now tell me something now. You, as Minister of Local Government, didn't know what was going on down in Salomar? And the mayor didn't know what was going on in Salomar?
He has never been to Westmoreland. This is his second time.
Who?
Desmond McKenzie.
What I'm saying, the mayor down there, Bertrand Moore, don't know what is going on in Salomar? Anyway, that's for a different topic. I want to say thanks to all of you for coming on. Thank you very much, Luke George Cook, Tanya's sister, my good friend Garfield Reed from the insurance company of where.
It is Transamerica Life Insurance Company. And remember, if you're looking for life insurance with living benefit and you are in the state of Florida, you can reach out to Garfield Reed. All you have to do is Google Garfield Reed at Transamerica and you will find me. And again, folks, make sure you have life insurance wherever you are, but living benefit. And if you need help, consultation by any, my telephone number is all over the internet. And I can give it to you here, 754-204-2498. That is 754-204-2498. Give me a call. Cost you nothing to talk about life insurance.
It's gonna cost you to. It's gonna cost you to advertise on my program, though.
Well, I'm a contributor to the program. But again, it's life insurance. That's what we do, man.
Thank you all very much for coming on. Thank you all for making the Make We Talk program a success. I can call anyone anytime when they come on. I can call on Tanya, she's ready to come on. My good friend, Action Now Jamaica, he's always busy, up and down, he's busy like the GG.
Only me alone can get to him, man. Only me alone can.
We need to have more forums like this, but more forums of solution. I don't want to just chat. More forms of solutions. And I think what we need to do, I know all of us are busy, but we need to sit down one of these days, right here on the whole StreamYard thing. We don't have to go live on StreamYard all the time. We can sit and talk about what do you think we need to be done and how we go about doing it. Garfield has some very brilliant ideas. He may think that I don't listen to him or I don't accept what he's saying. I do. He has some brilliant ideas. Local government election is coming up. We need to figure out a way how we can come together on election night and even before that to bring on, okay, you have Mayor Bertrand Moore in Westmoreland. How many seats do you think the PNP going to pick up? How many seats do you think the JP going to pick up? Those are the things that we need to talk about. And we need to talk about policies. How can we, as we come on air and speak about the problems, how can we give solutions to the problem we face in our country? Those are the things we're going to try and do for 2024. And Action Now Jamaica, he has a TikTok channel that we're going to work together with the Make We Talk channel. It's not just for one person. That's what you said a while ago. We need to come together, be on one unity, and speak with one voice for a common cause and a common purpose. Jamaica is building from within. And no matter think that if the People's National Party get into power, we're going to say, oh, no. If they get into power, they're going to have the same thing. We're going to speak out against it. We, the people. The power lies in our hands. The power lies in our hands. So we, the people, must stand up and call a spade a spade. We, the people, must get back and put this country back on the map. And they're talking about we're spoiling the brand and all sort of thing. So be it. We're not spoiling the brand. We're trying to protect the brand of Jamaica. And so I said tonight as I close, my fellow Jamaicans, both home and abroad, let us continue to fight the fight. Let us continue to speak out. There's going to be a protest in Miami on Friday, the 19th. Call to Action Group going to have a protest down there. It will be live on the Make We Talk YouTube channel here. We bring it to you live. We're going to listen to what Dr. Rupert Francis and others are going to say. You see? The time has come for all of us Jamaicans to put away the People's National Party, the Jamaica Labour Party, and speak about the land that we love. Speak about the land that everybody want to go to. Let's be passionate about our country. Let's stand up for our country. We're not speaking bad about our country. We're speaking for the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people, for the country that we love. So join them tomorrow, on Friday rather. We'll be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. We'll be live from downtown Miami on Friday at 8 a.m. I think Miss Tanya and I will be there. We'll be broadcasting live from there. I wish Action.
You think I can come down and sell some life insurance?
Oh, yes.
No, but I will be there. I will be there in my Transamerica Life Insurance shirt and my khaki pants with my networking and meeting people. I mean, I am about networking. And you know, Jeffrey, if you notice, I normally post this picture here when I stop my cam. If you see that building, that is in Royal Flat, Manchester.
You own that building?
No, that is in Royal Flat, Manchester, and that is where. And last year, my cousin and I, we did a back to school program. We funded out of our own pocket, and this is something that we are planning on doing every year. And this is in the Royal Flat Division. And I mean, I never get any help from any politician, not the councillor, not the member of parliament. And this is something that I will encourage. You have this program, Jeffrey. Everybody here is from Jamaica, who are in Jamaica. Let us go back and single out a particular place that you are from, that your parents from, you know, and give back something and collect a few dollars and bring back. And the thing is that it doesn't make any sense. We gather school books in the United States or school bags. It doesn't make any sense. It is better we gather the funds, we go into Jamaica and we purchase these things, because I tell you why. When you buy a barrel of school bag, you have to ship it. You have to pay to ship it. You have to pay the duties. When you go to Jamaica, you can buy the books. You can buy the pencil. Certain things you could buy here if you get a good deal, that you can travel with it. But let us do something. And I believe if everybody were to do that, we can do a whole lot of good for Jamaica. And let's put aside the political affiliation or who are Labour Right or PMP. Just say, who are Jamaicans? And that's what we need to concentrate on, man.
Yes, and remember that the demonstration will be in front of the Jamaican Consulate at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Miami on Friday, January 19th. And the Make We Talk program will be broadcasting live from there. We'll be speaking to Dr. Rupert Francis and others. And just to remember that there will be T-shirts on sale also, I think. Yes. The demonstration and the T-shirts is in aid of the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund. The One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund. It will be in aid of that, because I think that the One Legal Defense Fund is to help us in the diaspora, to help Jamaica, to help, you know, maybe file a lawsuit against things that's going on down there and corruption and so forth. So join us on Friday, January 19th, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in front of the Jamaican Council building. We'll be broadcasting live from there. A call to action demonstration. And they're talking about one of the main topic on the item is public corruption and crime and violence in the country. So we're going to be there. So come on down, wherever you are within the United States. Come on down. And for those who can't, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, because we will be live from there this Friday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. May God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Thank you all for coming on. Until you hear my voice again. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you all for coming on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Unity, strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.